Introduce.
All right, I'm going. Okay, we started a little late, guys, because of technical issues and working on some overlay stuff. Welcome to Alterra Kill Score Mercenaries, episode 10. Yes, you are starting midway through the campaign. Are there earlier episodes? No, there are not.
There's a fuck around episode.
There's we did a little one-shot episode last week, effectively, where we got to make a creepy wizard with a body pillow.
I stole the body pillow. I stole his spare body pillow, actually.
Yes.
Which had stains on it.
One day he might notice and come after Vane's player. So for now, we move on. We've started our final and ultimate arc of the season. The Rogue Solar Part 1, The Hunt begins. The players have been instructed or requested by the gods to hunt down a Solar that has gone rogue, an 8th creation from the plane of knowledge that should not exist, and whose capture and technology may unravel the civil war power balance between the 7 divine pantheons, who like to just fuck each other over, and everyone else for that matter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. As a reward for this, the players have been offered untold riches, enough to effectively retire or to splurge in one Vegas-fueled weekend on all their heart's desire.
All the Maryland cookies in the world.
All of them. Just all of them. With that, they've been gifted 2 divine artifacts by the gods, a cloak of divine travel that once you're on the divine planes, we'll work out how you get to the divine planes later. Assume that you have a 1 free pass to the divine planes by the gods, and assume they'll teleport you back if you don't die.
Yep.
But you have a cape that, as an action, you can teleport between the various divine realms and regions, as if you were using the teleportation spell, but it can only target yourself, and it takes an hour to recharge before you can teleport away again. So I guess do be cautious when you're traveling to final destinations that you are ready. You have been given 1 spare cloak if anything should happen to the cloaks you've already been given. I'll let you guys decide who is currently holding on to this.
Nana.
Probably Leopard. Probably stole it already.
That is probably the wise decision.
After last week, Nana's definitely the correct decision.
And you've been given some divine tracker discs that are able to camouflage and chameleon themselves into whatever item you attach it to. They will be revealed by any detect magic or any such spells that allow them to see it. But it allows you to attract creatures, automatically succeeding on any tracking across the same plane. And if the creature goes to another plane, you have, for now, 6 uses, but it will recharge at each long rest to determine what plane they've gone to so that you can teleport there and you'll be able to track them again. But this does mean you do have a limited ability to track per day if the creature starts jumping between a lot of the realms or starts jumping to other planes.
6 each, by the way, or is it 6 in total?
You get 6 beeps essentially to determine other planes, just because it takes a lot of magic to get a signal through the other planes.
I meant the tracker beacons themselves, but
you have 6 tracker beacons.
Okay.
Assume that you have to order more if you lose them.
Yeah.
So, with that, we'll get a little introduction of each character, just the player's name, character name, all that for the stream. Don't take too long. But first, there was a plan, I believe, just so I can set the scene. I believe there was talk about going to Fantasia and the domain of the Lord of the Hunt in the Savage Lands in order to essentially place a tracker on him or his ammunition, so that when he is on the hunt for the Solar, you might be able to utilize his tracking ability. Is that still the plan?
I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone's happy with that.
Because I
will.
I still have some arrows that are left when he shot me repeatedly with them. So.
And because my plans are not for till later.
Your plan.
Because I already said to the Lord of the Hunt, or other thingies had said that they were getting Lord of the Hunt onto it, he might not even be in Fantasia anymore. He might already be on Divine Plane.
Possibly, but it's best to check his house, isn't it?
Yeah, it was mentioned that he'd probably take some time just getting his herd together and making like a grand hunt off it all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is essentially, he's just been recruited into it. So if you guys are quick and go straight there, you might be able to catch him.
Right.
Also, we can like deface his lawn or something.
Yeah, you can deface his lawn. Right? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna skip you guys essentially to your portal skipper. and have you just arriving through a portal gate just above Fantasia so you can fly down and scout out the area. But first, a quick introduction to each of the players and their characters. We'll start with Grognar and then work our way to Rusty as you see on roll 20. Grognar, why don't you give us a quick introduction?
Hi, I'm Bob, the host of this channel, and I am playing Grognar the Mighty. I am a Goliath fighter. I do very dumb things if you look at last episode.
True.
So,
Nana Muffins.
I am TR playing Nana Muffins, a fairy warlock, and I just want to be worthy of Senpai's love. Unfortunately, didn't get to enjoy that episode, but I got to listen to it, which was quite weird.
It was very weird. That might be one of my weirdest episodes yet.
It was great. I loved it.
oh yeah, I love that.
Tune in to any future stream where we have audience participation built into the future campaign.
Mhm.
Just have them summon a Trask if they get enough votes. Wolfie, what about you?
Hi, I am Ferris Bane from a different Twitch channel, which is sometimes on. I am going to be playing Loken Norn, my gigantic rocket-powered greatsword wielding Dragonborn Ranger, who is totally not the worst influence in the party by some stretch of the imagination. I'm not entirely sure how, considering that I essentially just robbed everyone and then broke everything last week.
I like how everyone's got their character names and then it's just you.
Yeah, mine actually is set to Lolkin. I don't know why it doesn't change it on that, but no one
Probably
can
one of
stop
those things.
Nergy. No one can stop Nergy.
You know. Fair. Milik.
I'm Neil and I play Milik Hammerfist, a mountain dwarf totemic barbarian who's very angry all the time and just likes to smash things and look at nice stones.
Aggressive tapeworm.
Yes, the most
Yep, and
aggressive.
it's an aggressive tapeworm who has a bad habit of getting stuck in animal stomachs, much to their displeasure. Rusty.
Okay, I'm Ben. I'm playing Rusty, the Irish halfling. Yep. Artificer, who is an antagonistic little shit
Yeah.
And get banished a lot.
and gets banished
Yeah.
a lot.
Which is
Fair,
not
I
a flaw.
guess last but not least, I should probably do myself. I'm Chris. I will be your DM for the day in this session and campaign of Alterra, where Final Fantasy meets Discord. Not Discord, Discworld.
That's it, Discord. It also meant
That too.
Discord, to be honest, earlier.
Yeah. I mean, we've now got the nice, fun Discord overlay thing, so you can actually see who's talking now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait to check that out later.
I also like looking at it. We've got 3 of the characters on the Twitch overlay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can only set.
That's why I've changed my name to Rusty.
I've set up the 3 of the characters now, so you can see 3 of the characters from the campaign. But I need to set up Jamie's because he's
Yeah.
only got on roll 20, and I need
I'm lazy.
Ben's.
That's fine. Rusty's on there, I think.
We need to remove things or set a new campaign up entirely because the overlays only let me see so many things and I can't find them.
Don't worry about the overlay. Not many people actually look at them.
Yeah, nobody cares. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but
We'll
they
wing
could
it.
see our weird and wonderful creations of the extra items that we've made.
Yeah.
Let's see that when we attack people.
Yeah.
That's fair. Should get into how I've actually created my custom items on D&D Beyond. All right, so you guys are in a I'm just gonna calling a plane skipper for now. For those who want an image, it's essentially a puddle jumper from Stargate Atlantis, and you guys use it to go through little plane teleportation gates that mysteriously arrive in space or the astral sea just above all the various regions. It's one of the slower ways to get around when you don't have a teleportation key on one of the contracts. So you guys have arrived in the astral sea just above Fantasia, and as you start to descend, you see the continent before you. Assume the continent is in some form of ocean, because I'm not quite sure why it's just black there. It's just really dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantasia's really dark ocean.
Big oil spill.
Yeah.
Or a spell.
Oh shit! I was so pissed off.
Having done a bit of research, you are aware that the archfey known as the Lord of the Hunt, one of 16 powerful entities that rule over Fantasia, is normally located in the Savage Lands in the bottom, what is that, west? The bottom west of the map. And as you begin descending towards it, you start to see the horizon all around you with these massive white arcanite crystal chess pieces dotting the landscape.
I know where that's
Really?
from.
Really?
I-
Do I? Where? It's this board!
Yeah. Let's hope that I'm not gonna get
Love that anime.
copyright striked against this.
You'll be fine. It's just an image.
Yeah.
I hope.
It's just a single image.
Universal
worry.
Pictures.
Don't worry, Bob. I'm not streaming, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, but I am. All images are being used as fair use. I hope.
Probably not, but still.
I don't know.
Probably not. For anyone curious, all my images and maps are just Googled.
And for anyone for future reference, this is Dragon Bob's stream. So when coming for us with copyright, he's the one you want to talk to.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We'll put the address up later.
Hey,
And his
if-
mobile number.
I think they know where it is because they're actually watching the stream right now if they're hearing this.
If they're
That's
late.
fine. You're not big enough to worry about.
No.
Tell that to my YouTube channel.
Fair point. But yes, as you're descending towards the landscape and the Savage Lands, you notice this large white arcanite pawn piece dotting in the center of the Savage Land. As you descend further down, you can start to see a number of the terrain features, these wild waving bluffs, these hills and troughs, and some small rivers snaking the landscape. Now, how much research did you do? Because you know that the Lord Hunt, his domain is effectively all of the Savage Land, where he roams with his wild herd, tracking down dangerous game that spawns in Fantasia. But
I
you
mean,
probably
that was literally going to be Rusty's first question: is does anyone actually know where this guy lives?
If I
you
did,
probably don't
I
have an exact location on him right now.
No one would have looked it up because he's a tracker. But he also is spending a lot of his time doing like learning Celestial, so he's probably half-assed it.
and Grognar just says, "If I had known, I would have punched him already."
All right, so we're gonna.
And
I'll
For those
think of
who want to do a little bit of downtime to see if there was any contemporary information on where his herd is right now, as he does move around a lot on the Savage Lands, go ahead and give me an, I guess, a history check. History check seems appropriate.
Have a look.
And
Yep, that
if
sounds about right.
you all fail, let's see if you can come up with another. Ooh, a
Yeah,
24.
really. As I said, no one's learning Celestial at the moment. He doesn't. He's like, I'll look it up, sure. Who's reading a different book?
No one just looked at the cliff notes.
Yeah,
Oh, I've not got the bloody.
it said Savage Lands. It's like, well, we're here.
I'm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ragnar doesn't know where he is right now.
I got 27, but for some reason my extension wasn't on, so I'm just sorting that out.
27.
Ragnar just
Fair.
looked at the front
Alright.
cover.
Ragnar lost his keys. Lost the keys to his own house.
Grognar was not paying attention. What were we looking for?
Doesn't matter.
We're looking for the nearest fish and chip shop.
Yeah, there's no way I can resend that through. But yeah, I've got
You said, eh?
27.
But yeah, so 27 and 24, I feel is sufficient enough to find contemporary God, what's the tropical? Yeah, a word for
Topographical.
yeah,
Topographical.
that's word.
Topograph.
That
Topographical.
word
Top of
of
Topograph.
where the Lord of the Hunt and his herd is now. So let's say he was coming back from the Riverlands, heading back to the west here, and they made a little stop by the forest. There you go. Let's narrow it down to this little patch of land.
Only about 100 miles. Got it.
Only
Can
about 100
anyone-
miles.
Yeah, Rusty just turns to everyone in the jumper and just goes, "Can anyone see like a gaudy sort of like castle thing, because no doubt the guy's gonna live there, and I have no idea what accent I'm doing now.
I'd say if any Fae is not going to live in a big gaudy castle, it'd be Lord of the Hunt, actually. But
Yeah,
you
surely
never
be
know.
like
Yeah.
just like a massive tent in the
Yeah, like a
woods somewhere.
giant, you know those like log hunting cabins? Like one of those, like tuned up to the nines, is what I'm imagining.
I think whilst everyone else is looking round, Grognar is having a fight with Leopard. No, give me that damn cape back!
As chaos just erupts in the back of the plane skippers, you guys are descending towards the land beneath you. You
They
start
just
to approach
Grognar's head.
the indicated area on the map that both Rusty and Millig are able to point to, each finding the same location, giving confidence to the fact that the knowledge might be correct.
Two of us got it, so it's probably right.
It's probably right.
Okay,
as you-
everybody, it's over this way.
I mean,
Mhm.
I just pointed that at the map. I don't actually know if it's right or not.
I mean, you both pointed at the same spot independently, so it's probably right.
I mean, I could have been just lucky. You'd never know.
Always worth a try.
No, Leopard, I
I
need
did
it!
my research as well, so
Get that bloody cat under control now.
I can't.
As you descend, somebody give me a perception check as you look out of the window of the plane skipper onto the land before you, and see if you can denote any particular structures or anything of note. Wow,
29.
29.
did that.
I'm gonna
None.
roll just to see what I get.
Can anyone beat Lachlan's 29?
No.
I doubt it, but
It's definitely possible.
Not even with a natural 20.
no, not Grognar's. Wait, why is that persuasion? Who you persuading?
The cat!
Are you just having your own little story in the back here?
Now, if I give you this, if I give you the water ball, will you give me the damn cloak back? Look, it's shiny.
I hand the cat a sword.
As Grognar fights off a cat with a sword. Lachlan, you spot
Beats the 18.
What?
Dear.
you spot a mile-wide cluster of tents in the region you are exploring.
Well, that's probably it.
As you come down to this black dotted area on the land, that seems to be centered around a hill in the middle of this mile-wide area of just tents and campfires. There's small wisps of smoke rising. It's still probably midday at this point once you guys got your resources together to head out.
Much better weather than the last place we went.
As you kind of get closer, unfortunately, your Prime Skipper is not equipped with cloaking technology yet. That's for later season.
R&D's still working on that.
Imagine
You aren't
Rusty's
seeing
full.
any large structure. It looks like everything is tent or cabin size. And as you kind of get a little bit closer, but not getting too close that you might be spotted, you're still trying to keep it at range before you decide what you want to do. If you just want to descend into chaos.
We're
It
gonna
looks like
Anakin Skywalker it.
Just fly through, drop the arrow beside
Kill
him, and
everyone.
hope he tries to pick it up.
this herd of 10 is focused, as I said, around a central hill with what looks to be a very lovely, pristine crafted wooden cabin in the center. You see all of this with your 29 perception in such beautiful detail. I'm not quite sure how you got the zoom function to work so well.
With my own eyes.
You squint them.
You're practically looking at a telescope without a telescope.
Lachlan, why did you give him a sword?
More entertaining. You've got a sword, haven't you?
Yes,
It's just making it fair.
but I wasn't using this. I wasn't planning on using a sword to threaten him. I was trying to persuade him.
Look at it, he's not using it to threaten you either. He's gonna stab him with it.
I'd love to see him try, because I think he's just gonna clang off my armor.
Let's
He's
find
gonna
out.
Freddy Krueger you.
Let's see. Let's give a natch, and I still. Well, yeah, just clungs off the armor.
And as it clangs off, I grab the sword and go, "Please, my friend, I will. I'm sure. Was there not a spare cloak? Can I give him the spare?"
You're the fucking cat.
like-
I'm sorry, dearie, but no, there wasn't a spare.
But here, have this sweet instead.
Yeah. So
Yes, you
as,
have an idea of where the herd is. It's this massive tent, miles wide, with this central cabin on a hill in the center. How would you like to approach this?
I feel we should try and do it stealthily.
probably
Which one?
just
Uh,
going out. Who is? Okay, I'm gonna just go on limb. Am I the stealthiest here? Because that is depressing. If that is right.
What
Have
is
plus
your
3,
stealth?
but
I,
not
Plus 7.
proficient.
Plus 7.
Oh.
Plus
Same as mine.
4.
I have disadvantage on stealth.
I
then-
don't.
None had disadvantage as well.
Nope, I'm wearing boots of Elvenkind, so I am not got
Ah, right.
disadvantage,
Hmm.
and I
Same
don't
here.
make noise.
I am in big
Now,
clunky tooth-shaped fucking armor.
Might have been Grognar I was
The
thinking
first
of.
choice you guys have to make is: are you approaching from the outer edge of the herd, settling down and moving towards the herd on foot, trying to stealth through the entire herd towards the cabin, or are you hovering above the cabin and doing some form of some sort of
Arrow
drop
We do a halo
air
drop,
drop.
into.
into the cabin?
Okay,
The latter is
Millie.
unlikely to be stealthy unless you are flying down invisible.
We're
Millie.
gonna- Yes.
Do you think you could be angry at the ground?
I'm pretty sure I could be angry at anything.
That's my
Cool.
secret. I'm always angry.
Yes.
Cool. So here's my plan. We fly really high in the air, out of arrow range. We give Millig the arrows with a couple of trackers on them. We drop him directly into the Lord of the Wild Hunt's house. And Millig, you get really angry so you don't die on impact. And you fucking run.
Uh,
Your objective
I
is
could do that.
survive.
but I can fly, you know,
This is more fun.
and I'm sure the man with the gun over there can fly too.
That's
With
a
his
good
broom.
idea. Grognar, you go out and distract them so they're watching you. And
What?
they're not noticing the dwarf hurtling down.
Why are we making plans that's going to get us killed? Don't we want to use him to get to Solar? What are we doing?
Yeah. We
I'll
are
give you
going.
guys a second to discuss this. I'll be back in a minute.
Wait,
We've got to get the arrows.
Leopard,
into his
please
quiver.
give me that damn cloak. I'll give you the Monty back. I'll give you this one instead. And I give him. Offer them the one that looks more like a fish. the manta ray one.
I'm gonna say that the cat looks very suspicious, takes it and starts chewing on it.
Then grab.
As the designated voice of your cat, I am going to take.
Yes, and I grab.
I know exactly what he's saying.
And I get the divine cape back. Oh God. Ah.
Yeah, I basically I'm going. There's no chance that I am the stealthiest in the party, and I don't think I'm stealthy enough to get in there. So, particularly since the guy can see through invisibility.
Yep.
So I think if we just do the orbital drop dwarf strategy, with having Grognar be a distraction, you go out and fly around, cause some mayhem, you know the shebang. You'll at least get their attention, and we'll basically just be far
Besides,
away
you've
from
got a
where we're
slight
going to
gripe
drop you.
with Lord of the Hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, we can probably just sneak in there without all the palaver.
But Grognar's very noisy.
Ow!
I mean, me and you, we might not look it, but we are the sneakiest.
We are. I just don't think we're sneaky enough to get past it. I'm willing to give it a try.
We'll definitely give it a try.
I think the distraction plan is actually the better bet as well, though.
I
Just
mean,
less eyes looking at us, the better.
Well,
I mean, Grognar, you do make a very good battering ram.
I could. Well, where are we rendezvousing? So, Grognar could charge through tents at full speed.
I actually have a terrible plan that will get us down there reasonably stealthy.
Okay.
Did you say a terrible
But-
plan that would get
Yes,
us
because yes, because it
Just
kind of breaks up
clarifying
my
that.
home for a little bit. So, what the plan is, we fly up high.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
I pull you into my my little special bottle,
Okay.
and we toss it out the window, and it falls down into his house, or breaks on the roof.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it'd be a one little hollow figurine falling from the sky. It
Uh,
should work, and I'm just looking. It says like if it breaks, every object stored in there harmlessly appears in the unoccupied spaces. So
Grognar,
it'll get us down there.
Grognar's standing with his hand in the air.
Yes,
What will we do with ship though if we all in your bottle?
I assume we can program the ship to meet us a certain
No.
direction away.
Not really. It's just essentially a point and go kind of ship. It's not going to autopilot in it.
If we have one person to sit in here while we do it, because we also need someone to throw it out the window.
Well, if you
I'm pointing. What about leopard print thong?
I
Surely
don't,
he can throw it out of the window.
I don't,
I mean that
Pilot
that
the
seems like he
ship.
wants to do that. No, just
I don't,
stay in the ship.
I
He can land on his feet as well.
don't think.
Guys.
Yep.
I can look. I think I'm the only one that's actually able to pilot the ship.
Most like.
What if you all go into the thing? I throw it out the window. I land the jumper, and then I come up and meet you on the near the tent.
I like his plan. It
Probably
makes
manage that.
it make more sense than trusting Cat to pilot ship. And not
I
this
feel
to
like Cat could, give it a try.
and not just take bottle into house. Wait, I'd be taking house inside. Oh yes, he wouldn't be very happy if his house is not here.
Well, that was the second plan. We destroy the house.
No,
I mean, we can do
meaning
that easily.
I mean Leopard's
His
house,
backpack.
my backpack.
I feel like I should remind everyone that the plan was to drop off some arrows with a tracking device on it,
Yep.
not to blow up the cabin of the Lord of the Hunt.
He could be in it.
I know, but the problem is then we destroy his quiver, and he'd be kind of suspicious that there's like 5 pristine arrows on the ground,
Right.
and the rest of his house is
I do have another idea.
Yeah.
I can make a tiny servant. I can send that down, and then that can put the arrow with the tracking device in his quiver.
That's
I like
actually
that.
a really good plan. That's actually a really good plan.
I agree with Rusty. Rusty,
Oh, I've just realised something else as well, actually. Give me a moment.
What?
I can get it down there as well, without us actually having to fly down there.
How?
I could summon a little buddy who can fly, and he can carry the tiny servant on his back.
Okay, can we do this?
That actually seems much better.
I think I might actually be able to animate the actual arrow.
Because Grognar does not want to let Leopard chew on this cloak too much more.
Because the description of the thing says you touch one tiny non-magical object that isn't attached to another object or surface that isn't being carried by another creature.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think they are magical.
The trackers are magical.
And the
Well,
track is magical as well. Yeah, I don't think it'd work.
Okay.
You can still.
but-
The thing I've got can't like it probably doesn't have the articulation to get it in there. So if you make a tiny servant to carry it, I can get it down there, and we can do that. I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised if a random like small magical beast just is in the area, which is the Savage Lands. So at worst,
Yeah.
someone shoots it and eats it.
We can still track them.
Although they won't shoot the tiny servant. So
I mean, I think I've got a bag of tricks, but I don't. Can it make anything that flies?
I can definitely make something that flies. It doesn't have to fly.
I mean, I could make an axe beak and can throw that out.
That can't fly, can it? It's like an ostrich.
I know, but that'd be funny.
If we throw an ostrich out the window, I think someone might notice. No,
Well,
I
it
can do
depends.
it. I can just make a summon beast.
I
Yeah,
think you're
fair
gonna
enough.
have an order of druids show up and ask why you're throwing axe beaks out the window.
Well, it depends if I get the axe beak from the bag though.
So what do you need to make the servant with?
I just need something small. I mean,
Leper!
Hand a teapot over. Actually, wait a minute. What did I pull from the freaking mage's bag?
Oh,
Uh,
the pillow. Give the pillow.
I haven't got it.
it
But
needs
it's not.
to be,
It's,
it needs
it's
to be a
not tiny.
object. Yeah, it needs to be a tiny object.
Oh, here. I hand you a clothes brush. Actually, no, I like the clothes brush. I want that.
You got it.
That's handy.
You got
I hand you
Yeah.
the carving knife. The word toothpick is a blunt carving knife with the word toothpick in a language of giants carved into the handle.
I think that might be. I don't think that'll work. I've
Why
got
not?
this. I think that'd be a bit noticeable. A walking blade just wandering around with an arrow.
Do you see Grognar go to his hand and takes off a ring?
I don't bother that. I've got these pythons. I'll just use one of these.
I have my family's ring.
I like
Yeah,
how it
you
could
want-
be any object. You guys are really putting a lot of thought into this.
I'm looking at my kit. I've got a signet ring.
Yeah, I don't want to use anything that's a family heirloom. I just want to use something that it doesn't really.
Wait a minute.
matter if I get rid of.
I've got the
Look,
perfect one.
I've got this python. I'm going to use this python.
Oh, I was going to say I've got a different non-magical arrow.
Huh?
Carrying a magical arrow with
Yeah.
Just a couple arrows lying there.
No one would question it. Just a couple arrows. Doing arrow things.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll hand you an arrow.
Puts
It's
ring.
one of my normal old standard arrows.
So take the arrow and cast Tiny 7 onto it. It
Okay,
lasts for
right,
8
yeah.
hours.
The arrow grows arms and legs and is able
Yep.
to carry a bundle of arrows.
In the
Okay.
background, you hear. Da, 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 da.
And I am going to make a summoned beast of air.
Cool.
All right, fair, right? So you summon a beast, an air beast, to carry down an enchanted arrow carrying magical arrows.
It's the little pterodactyl type thing. That's where I'm from. So I don't have its stat block. I have its stat block actually on a different thing, but it's not in.
No, that's fine. The summon beast just needs to carry an animated arrow down.
Yeah.
I feel like it can handle that task quite easily.
Most likely. Oh, it understands the language I speak. Cool.
That helps.
Okay. I'm going to tell you. I need you to take this arrow and this arrow just down there, and then leave. Okay? You got this?
It gives a little salute and then goes to try and run out the window. You didn't say how it's getting down there. You just said to take it down there.
Yeah, I was talking to the pterodactyl, so it can
Oh,
fly.
to the pterodactyl. I thought you were talking to the arrow.
No. I'm talking to my pet. I'm assuming you're going to give the brief to yours.
I'm just telling it to do whatever you say.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Okay,
Like,
first, I need you to stab Grognar. And then,
Why are you trying to get everything to stab me, Lachlan? What did I do? Did I steal something? Did Leopard steal something from you last night?
It misses.
he knows what he did.
Right. Take these arrows, get on that pterodactyl, land wherever it says it's going to land, and then you need to get into this tent. And
Into this
point some
cabin.
other
In
arrows.
this cabin.
Yeah, into
Okay.
this cabin.
Lord
Point
hunts a
some
man
other-
in the man. He has a
yeah.
cabin.
Find some other arrows and just sit there with them.
Just sit there with them.
Blend in. Act natural.
Okay, right.
Neck
Act
natural.
natural, be an arrow. Your motivation is I am an arrow.
Do we have any way to watch their progress apart from the plane skipper?
No,
I think my pterodactyl. I think I can use its eyes.
I can't. I can mentally command the tiny servant, but I can't see anything through it.
This will
I have
depend on what I
decent-
described.
No, I can't do it. It can't. It just does its job. My one.
All right. So obviously you're gonna
I've
lose line of
got
sight if it
beast
does manage to get into the cabin.
You've got beast sense, so you can see through its eyes.
I can. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh wait a minute. It's concentration.
No,
up to an hour.
yeah, Milik has it.
Oh, Milik!
Yeah.
Milik,
Takes 10
look
minutes
through
to
the eyes
cast.
of my pet pterodactyl.
That's
You
fine.
guys are under no time constraints.
Yeah.
Nobody detected you yet. Well, I should probably have some of the. Let's see. Who's steering? Should have somebody do like an intelligence stealth to hide the.
Rusty is steering it.
With his
All right, give me an
tentacles.
intelligent stealth to see how well you kept the plane skipper out of visible reach while being
Right.
close enough to see things.
So intelligence stealth. So that's +5 to whatever this is. I fucking don't like this new rolling thing on Beyond.
After all, if you can see them, they have a chance of seeing you.
Roll.
I don't want to put out. I can see them. I don't think anyone else in the party can see them.
That's fair. Let's hope nobody down there has a passive perception above 30.
It's
Come on,
possible.
you
That's why I said there's no chance in the hell I'm sneaking past the Lord of the Hunt.
What is the passive perception of the Lord? Holy shit, that's high.
He's just.
Let's just say the Lord of the Hunt has a higher passive
close.
perception than you.
Yeah, I was like, he's an arc fae that can see invisibility.
I'd love to just
That's-
see he's
If that
sitting.
isn't perceptive, what is?
He's just
Yeah,
standing.
he split 3 arrows on my ribcage while I was invisible.
I feel like he's just standing on the roof, tapping his.
Tapping his foot, waiting. He's gonna just shoot my pterodactyl out of the air.
Yeah. Why are they hovering there?
So that's a 14.
A 14? Alright. So a 14 stealth, you hide the plane skipper up in the air. Hopefully nobody will see you. It will determine the fate for one in a second. But as far as you know, nobody shot you out the sky yet.
Mhm.
Which is all that matters.
It's
So
good.
we're spending 10 minutes, it sounds like, then to make a air pterodactyl carry down a tiny servant arrow carrying arrows, and the and Milik is going to use the beast sense to see through the pterodactyl. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Yes, I pat it on the head before it flies. Because I've got to touch it to see through its eyes and
Yep.
hear what it hears.
So all
So
of
just
this will
pat on
be
the head.
through the narration and description of Milik, who will be the only one who can see all this.
What are they?
With Milik, you watch as the pterodactyl picks up the tiny servant arrow, carrying a bunch of arrows in it. Presumably, you guys have already attached the tracking disc. How many arrows did you have, and how many tracking discs are you attaching?
I have 12 arrows as options, so I think we put 2, probably right.
Mhm.
2 or 3. We want some spares for ourselves, but
Oh yeah, yes.
it basically, if we have 2, then provided he doesn't fire both of those particular arrows, one should stay on him, and the other one will probably hit the solar. Or they'll both stay on him, but it gives us better odds.
So are you going with 2 or 3?
I'm asking everyone else.
Go for 3.
3, okay.
Three.
Grognar is not paying attention.
Grognar is still having a pitched battle with his own pet cat.
Yeah. All right. So you attract 3 of the 6 trackers you have to 3 of the 12 arrows that are now being carried down by this tiny servant arrow by an air pterodactyl, all being watched by Milik the dwarf. As the pterodactyl flies out the window with the tiny servant, they begin to descend towards the cabin in the center of the herd on top of this pretty semi-shallow deep hill. It's not that high an incline. And the pair continue flying further down. They are relatively tiny, so I'm not going to call for a stealth here. Somebody have to be incredibly lucky to spot them. As they get closer down towards the actual cabin, they arrive at the cabin. Its door closed, its windows. Let's find out actually. Let's see what the Windows status is. Let's have a fate roll for you guys. So anything above 10 is a positive result in the players. Anything below 10, unfortunately, works against the players. Plus 10 will have the windows open.
Hey!
The windows to the
Hey!
cabin are currently open as the air wishes in and out and around this cabin.
You
What
got air
would
at the place.
as Milik describes all of this to you, what would the air pterodactyl and the tiny servant arrow like to do? Would you like to fly through the window? Would you like to do something else?
It would like to look through the
To
window,
fly
I think,
through the
first,
window.
at least.
Look the window. All right. As it looks through the window, it sees the interior of this very stereotypical and classical hunter's cabin. You can see these legendary creatures mounted to the walls. It's got this rich mahogany look and this smell of nature and must, and these very thick woolen rugs. But let's see if the Lord of the Hunt is home. Milik, can you roll me a d20 for
That's
a fate
why.
check?
That's why I immediately went. He's not immediately flying in. He's going to check.
Let's find out. Is Lord of the Hunt home? Milik, a d20, please.
10.
All right, all right. I'm pretty sure that is a positive result, if just.
Barely.
As the Lord of the Hunt is currently not in. However, there does appear to be a commotion a short way around the cabin. You can see a variety of humanoids gathering in a crowd. There's quite a chorus of commotion. It appears the Lord of the Hunt is approaching the cabin, but is being delayed or stalled by just worshipping and admiring fans who want to ask them various questions. And actually, even from up in your plane, Skipper, Lachlan, you can see a crowd kind of rushing and forming around this figure with its large antlers and cloaked hood walking through the camp. This is clearly the Lord of the Hunt. They're a good maybe 5 minutes away from the cabin, but they have been delayed for now. What would the party like to do?
Yeah, little pterodactyl is definitely going to hop through the window and put the arrow down. But he's going to find some arrows, essentially, like with the quiver. And that looks like it's been prepped for, like, it's not just one in storage. It's one that's, like, looks like he could take it out, essentially, if he's going on a big hunt.
That's fair, that's fair. Since Milik is the only one that actually has senses in the room and they will essentially be directing you towards it, Milik, go ahead and give me a perception check to see if you can see it where the Lord of the Hunt's reserve arrows are kept.
Come on.
21.
Hey.
Perfect. You see what looks to be a large cabinet inscribed with elven symbology. And let's see, would anything else be in the cabin? No, I was just going to say a large hunting cabinet with elven symbology that looks to be the only area that kind of has a storage vicinity. As you approach it, you fly up and pretty sure your arrow has arms, so I'm going to say it can at least try and turn the doorknob. But as you approach the cabin, flying up on the Aerodactyl, there are no door handles. There doesn't appear to be a way to open the door. There's a crack down it, so it does clearly open out in two doors, but there are no handles. Kind of touching and pulling at it doesn't work. It appears to be magically sealed. Let's have Milik do. Milik, do you have Arcana?
Plus
That's
2 in
a-
Arcana, but it's not proficient.
That's
Then
better than the pterodactyl.
give me an intelligence check as you describe the runes to Rusty, or anyone else who has Arcana for that matter, to see if you can determine what's keeping this door shut.
Mhm.
Just as you're describing it to the party, see if you can accurately
Mhm.
describe what you're seeing here.
7.
7. So as you give a very badly worded description of what's on this, those with natural
I don't speak
arcana.
Elvish, so
Yeah, but you're describing shape really poorly. You're describing counterclockwise spirals as clockwise, and describing diamonds as 2 triangles.
I,
Well,
Grognar
it
doesn't.
is.
Grognar doesn't recognize those elven shapes. What are you talking about?
That's what's on it.
I think I know what he's on about.
How?
See, Rusty kens what I'm talking about, so
Was
To be honest,
anything he said actually helpful? So you there, Rusty.
Let's see.
I mean,
Rusty's check
some
is pretty
things-
hard. It's pretty high.
some things
Yeah.
I don't think he's describing it right, but I think I kind of know what he's on about.
I'm not very good with Elvish, so runes weren't my thing.
Neither am I, but I'm pretty proficient in most runes.
Yeah, but pterodactyl's going to be like essentially tapping its foot.
Can
Arms
can I
on
make
the
a
hips akimbo.
can I make a
Wings.
history check to see if I recognize an elfin rune that's similar?
To be fair, they're not actually elven rune. They're arcanic runes mixed into elven symbology or elven decorations. Keep saying symbology, but really they're like Celtic patterns, aren't really? They're more just they're pretty.
Yeah, they look good.
They look good. They have no actual meanings or anything. They're not writing.
Hmm.
But even with Millig's terrible description, Rusty is able to put the pieces together, and with kind of an inclination, a natural guess that these are probably some sort of arcanic runes for some magic embedded into the cabinet. You know that the cabinet is effectively password locked opened, and that a code word is used to open it.
Oh fuck.
What? Turtle
And-
soup? I know salt's tasty.
And your unseen servant talk.
No,
Shit.
it's literally an arrow with arms and legs. As it can't actually see anything.
Right.
I mean, we could just leave the arrows here on the ground, and someone might pick them up and put them in a quiver.
Yeah, let's do that. That's our best bet.
And as you're having this thought, you hear a sudden thump as an arrow smacks into the glass screen off the plane skipper, followed very quickly by 4 more hitting into the same arrow. The panel manages to stain it, but there is a thin crack, spider webbing out of the screen. It appears you have been spotted. And
Oh,
given the
damn it,
accuracy
Rusty,
of these
get us out of
arrows,
here.
there might only be one
Going.
culprit.
We're gone. We're out of here. Doesn't matter if it plans, but the arrows are down there.
Yeah, do that. And my pterodactyl just poofs out of existence. That's what it does.
What does the tiny servant do? The tiny servant just stand there with the arrows, lie down with it, just go to hide.
Play
Uh,
dead.
Is
So it drops the magical arrows with the tracking devices on them, and just stands there. And just is it like
Can it jump in the
somehow-
fire?
He said its motivation was to be an arrow, so it acts like
Yeah.
an arrow.
Yeah, its motivation is an arrow. It keeps running around and trying to jab its point into things.
It just sticks in the cabinet.
Yeah. Just its
Ooh.
little arms and legs flailing around for the next 8 hours.
The decoy.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll with the arrow. Pretty sure the
Attack
tiny
roll.
servant has stats, but I think it might be all
does.
10. So just roll
I
me a
feel like-
d20. We'll see how if it's high
Sorry.
enough to matter.
I want to point out, by the way, that pterodactyl is almost as strong as Grognar.
What?
It's got 18 strength. Yes, it did.
Right.
Jesus.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Okay.
It
It crit it.
So
It
as
didn't
the
just
arrow
hit.
very critically attacks the cabin,
I'm
as
proud of you.
as you guys are flying away, unbeknownst to the party who have turned their backs on it, the landscape below you ripples with a sudden shudder. as the hill formation in which the cabin is center topped begins to violently vibrate and begin to rise off the ground.
The
Baba
arrow
Yaga!
killed. The arrow killed the mountain.
I'm thinking Baba Yaga house with the chicken legs.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
As you'll never know as you have left the vicinity.
I'm looking out the window. Can I see what happens?
Not if you're steering correctly towards the astral sea with the window pointing towards the astral sea.
Oh, it's I've got a back window down.
No, unfortunately not. Puddle jumpers don't have back windows; they only have a front.
Yeah.
You only need to see where you're
Next
going.
installation.
I mean, surely there
We
should
could
be.
make a back window
I was
without the
gonna say, surely
glass.
there should be like a reverse camera.
Oh, by the way,
You'd
out of
think so,
curiosity, when
but
we
there's
when we
not.
next get out of the jumper, how many arrows did the Lord of the Hunt shoot into it?
4.
Well, it's 5, and I think it was followed by 4. 1 second. He did his full action into it. Let me double check how many attacks he actually got up to. He makes up to 5 attacks, so 5 arrows,
Thank
4
you.
of which are splintered in half.
I've got one. I'll take it.
Make sure
As you
it's
take the final arrow to it.
I've already said I want to have one. I want to send one back with interest. So.
So as we're flying away, Rusty is reaching forwards to the crack in the screen and just casting mending on it.
we not want to make sure that's none of our arrows being shot at us.
How do you plan on removing the arrows still embedded in the screen while
Oh,
inside
I'm
the
I'm
screen?
imagining it like essentially like healing around the arrow.
Oh, fair. You said this was after you got out, right?
No, so as we're flying away.
No one's removing the arrow after we get out.
Okay. I guess so. Oh, yeah. You heal it while it was in, just to kind of keep the maintenance. Occasionally, you'll have to maybe give it a little bit more mending as the initial arrow isn't perfectly healed over because the arrow's kind of blocking it from perfectly healing.
Yeah.
But you heal the cracks and kind of minimize the risk.
Yeah, it's essentially so like the screen just doesn't implode while we're flying through the astral sea.
Interestingly, because the astral sea isn't space, it's filled with ether, and I'm not entirely sure that there is a pressure difference.
Depends
Because
on how ether works
people
in your world.
people
We'll
can
find
travel
out.
through the astral sea.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Didn't we?
We will find out.
We'll make
Um,
sure we find out.
Yes, the party is able to retreat from Fantasia, head back up into the astral sea, and head towards the plane gate if they want to head back to the Bullseye astral station, or you can hang about in the astral sea and wait and see if the Lord of the Hunt makes a move at any point. What would the party like to do? This is essentially where would the party like to wait while the Lord of the Hunt finishes up his preparations and begins his own hunt.
I mean, we
Should we not go find out if anyone has information on where Solar is?
Yeah, I think we'll go to like the last area they knew that where the Solar was, because we were tracking the Lord of the Hunt, so we know where he's going because he probably has a good idea of where it is. But we want to find clues as well.
We
So.
we don't want
Okay.
to be left out on hunt.
Yeah, there's no point in
Yeah.
waiting for someone else to get it first.
Fair.
yeah.
We just want to keep an eye on him, essentially.
Yep, you have that one pass to the Divine Planes, and it will teleport you to the Divine Planes, at which point your cloaks of divine travel will allow you to go between the various divine realms. All right, so we are going back to the Divine Plane of Noire, the plane of knowledge.
I'm just assuming that or I'm imagining that when we go through to the divine planes, that the cloaks just start having like a blue shimmer to them.
I was thinking gold, but that works too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gold
for
shimmer.
those
Yeah.
who have
Has a
read the
gold
description, remember that when you use them, you puff into a cloud of glitter.
I
Yeah.
put a description up for
Yep.
anyone who wants to.
I wish you'd have done that 5
Send
minutes
Chris's
earlier so I didn't have to
description.
type up the description in my freaking items.
So yeah, they can like shimmer this glittery kind of goldness to them once you're in the Divine Planes.
Sweet.
Alrighty then. Let's see. You would most likely then want to go to the Deva factory in the middling layers of Noire. And then it barreled up. Would you like to go straight to the factory, or would you like to start at the surface as the solar was burrowing up from the factory? This is your choice. You can go to either.
It
I
seems like
would-
a good bet.
I would say the whole.
Yeah, surface.
Just because you might have to figure out your way from the Deva to the surface unless you go through that hole.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing stuff. All right, so you're gonna teleport to the essentially the surface level of the Nowari in the area of the hole. It's kind of a vague description, but I feel like it's still a unique enough description that you can just essentially describe that particular kind of hole in Nowari. There's not that many holes in Nowari. It's generally doesn't have a lot of construction in it. It's a divine plane. And also because I only have the map for the hole. So you're going there anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we also actually had a map for the little hill here. There's a little artificial river along at the hill, little cabin in the middle if you want to go down and fight. Yeah, very lovely.
It's really pretty, yeah.
But please place your miniatures on the map. This is the plane of Nowari, and in the center of this road, it's kind of being eaten away with radiant energy. You can actually resize all your minis
What side
and
did we
assume
come in?
that the you came to this hole, so you can essentially be anywhere around here. I'll let the party decide where exactly they want to be.
Apparently,
But
we're
the
all in
hole
different
is
places.
in the center here. You can all be in this little central island.
Yeah, I was like, no one definitely just spawned on the island. It's like, ah! That seems like him. In 1 second, one of my cats wants to come. And it's not going to stab me with a sword.
Wee
It's
giant
after
hole in the
your
center.
cloak.
Yeah, there's
I've just
residual
used this
energy.
cloak. You can't use it. Hey, Grogna, you're too far.
Grognar is very small.
Yeah, let's actually resize you all to normal size here.
We keep telling you.
Here we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I missing?
Mech.
Oh no, so one of your minis are underneath somebody else's mini.
I'll move me.
Oh, it's Milix. Here we
Yeah,
go.
there should be 5.
Oh,
Yeah,
tiny
minutes
Millig.
is tiny.
Tiny Millig.
You couldn't see Tiny Millik. She's too tiny.
Millig's hiding under Grognar because he's so
Hey, you
big.
should be Rusty that's tiny.
Yeah.
Well,
You're also
should
pretty
be
short.
Nana.
dude.
I mean, I'm not tiny. I'm just small.
Yeah, you just.
Nana's tiny.
It's the weird moment where the halfling is not the smallest party member.
whoa,
Yeah.
your mic changed drastically.
Your
there.
mic did change, yeah. Have you got to do a different setting?
I changed headset because my Bluetooth one died.
There we go.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
Like, it's still
Good
fine.
reasons, any?
It's still fine, but
Why does it sound better or worse or what?
different.
Clearer.
Different.
All right.
Yeah, I think the best way would be different, honestly.
I play it safe and say different.
Yeah.
I'd say different because it sounds like I can hear that you're in a room.
It sounds slightly tinny, but it's still like fine. So
Yeah. Okay. I've got my headset on charge.
fair enough. Okay, what did I miss? Did we miss anything other than big hole?
No, just big
Nope.
hole.
Big hole.
Big hole.
Does Hull have direction or anything?
You can ask
yes.
it.
Hole goes down into the center of the plane where the factory was. All right, so as you guys teleport to the plane of knowledge, Nowari, your cloaks begin to activate. They are now able to, once per hour, effectively teleport you anywhere within the divine planes and all the divine realms. All 7 Pantheon planes, and I guess there are minor other planes that I've never had to flesh out. So,
Mhm.
and you have no reason to ever go there.
Let's
We'll
go.
find a reason. Let's go.
The roadway around you appears to have been dissolved or eaten away, almost as if by a grey goo, and only a central island exists. Beneath you, the water kind of floods in and swirls around, and then actually flows back out of this hole that appears to have some sort of magical force field, stopping the water from going into the depths of this darkness beneath. You can pretty much easily summarize that this hole leads down to the Deva factory, and for now it's going to be magically blocked off to prevent water flowing towards it. Whether or not it blocks off other stuff, you'd have no idea. You would need to either experiment or
Gotta
play
throw a rock.
around with it. As you
I
kind of
think
look
I'm gonna have
around
to take my ring off.
the plane, you notice that more than several Nuari Devas stand at attention around this kind of wardening the area off. And as a few glance over to you, they kind of just they give you a wary look, but they don't approach. As you are aware that the war gods did tell you that uh, the pantheon gods have essentially decided not to interfere with any of the champions, and it seems that these devas are respecting that. They aren't causing you any hassle, but at the same time, they probably aren't going to be friendly or helpful.
I gave him a nod. I got on quite well with them in the previous area, so.
They're probably just here to prevent any faction fighting from spilling over to the divine citizens who are trying to enjoy their afterlife.
I'm going to throw a rock down the hole.
All right, you do so. You can find some rubble next to you. You throw it down, and as you do so, it plops into the water. And how heavy a stone are you going for? Are you going for one heavy enough to kind of go past the current, or one small enough that it might risk being swept away?
It'd be like a brick, like a big chunk of masonry, and just hurl it in, essentially.
That's fair. I feel you also have the strength to just kind of tear a bit off the side if you needed to.
Straight
You
29.
plop it in, and it plops through the water and descends towards the barrier. And as it reaches the barrier, it actually slips through unobstructed and free falls down the hole out of your line of sight into the darkness beneath.
Cool. Yeah, so that force field won't hold any of us, so don't tempt it.
Don't jump down it.
Yeah, pretty much with the theory of, is that force field like a flaw? No, it's not.
I've got the ring of walking, so
Yeah, I can swim as well, so.
I can swim if I get my cape back.
Let's assume that the height from the kind of surface of the water, let's say the water is 10 feet above the hole and kind of the shallow watery area, but it's 30 feet from the bridges above you that you're currently on. So it's 30 feet drop to the water and then 10 feet to the base of the water.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb down with my climbing speed to the thing.
All right, you automatically concede, you get down to the water.
Nana's just going to fly down.
You do so. As you come down, you get this whiff of chalk and the smell of new book, and this quiet ringing of choirly jazz music in your ear. This warmth in your heart as you explore the realm of Noire.
Sorry, quietly jazz music really broke me there.
Choirly jazz music, the best for reading in a small, comfy alcove.
My
Is
mental image is Baker Street. You know, the saxophone solo from Baker Street. That's what
That's
my mental.
fair. Huh?
The hole, is it a clean hole or is it just like a ragged hole that may have scraped off some of the solar?
It's been eaten away as the plane is made of radiance, solidified radiance. So it looks like it's almost been melted by something rising up and kind of absorbing it into it.
Alright.
What would the party like to do?
Grognar
It seems a
like-
couple of you are going to explore, and Grognar's gone off by himself.
yes.
Yes, Grognar, what are you doing over here?
Dying.
Where is Grognar? Oh, there he is.
North.
Yeah.
G-
He
Grog-
went up.
Yeah, Grognar's looking to see what who the guards are. Are they people from the inside the factory, or are they just?
Give me an insight check.
And the rest of the party goes.
I was about to say natural one as well was the best thing.
You stop!
I cut.
Hilarious.
He
It's like
didn't say
charisma is
it.
generally the connection skill. I really should do that as charisma insight in the future to recognize someone and remember your bond with a person. Yeah.
At least if you've seen the person before, I don't think he really had a conversation with them. So.
Well, it's fair, but wisdom is generally for like your surroundings, whereas charisma is for other people. But yes, Grognar,
Grognar.
you do not recognize them. All Devas look the same to you.
Racist.
Seen one, you've seen them all.
Is the manager okay?
The Devas kind of glance over at you, kind of make a small mechanical scoffing noise at you, and then look away.
No, I'm gonna go with then.
They do not respond.
speaking
What would
to
you
you.
like to do?
Well, the only celestial words I know is the month. The days of
You
the
just
year.
list off the months of the year.
June.
June.
Can you communicate using just the 12 months of the year? Hilariously, it wouldn't even be the regular months. It would be the Alterra months, which are based on the zodiac. What's not the zodiac? What's Sagittarius and all that part of?
I'm gonna roll.
Starts like the
Zodiac.
constellations.
Zodiac.
Yeah, it's based on the 12 constellations.
Yeah, it's the celestial zodiac, I believe, technically. But
I say that
I
there.
call them the
the ninth,
constellations.
the 9th month in celestial.
Okay, that's September.
Like Leo or something like that.
Well, why don't you roll me a persuasion check to see just how, if you can convey so much in one word. And when we get back to the other party members and see what they're doing, I'll come back to you in a second, Grognar.
10.
Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get that positive result. But yes,
No.
what the rest of the party do while Grognar goes and makes friends?
So Rusty has been sat down, starting to ritually cast detect magic,
Okay, yeah.
and
fair.
just to see if he can find any like remnants of the solar or any, like Nana was saying, like any scrapings or anything that he's left behind, or any traces of him, basically.
Any remnants of them
Yeah.
being there.
Even the angle
Yeah.
or direction.
All right. Well, since that takes 10 minutes, we'll come back to you in a second. Let's see what the rest of the
Yep.
party members are doing. What is Lachlan, Millig, and Nana doing?
Millig's just standing on the river or water till we establish what we are actually doing
Yeah, no-
wherever we're going.
No one's gonna just be looking
Seeing
around.
if Grognar's gonna die.
Yeah, no one's gonna be keeping an ear open for whatever the fuck Grognar's doing because he can hear him from here. And no one's gonna basically just looking around see if he can find anything that we don't. That's not immediately obvious. Essentially, just look around generally for stuff, perceive anything interesting, investigate that kind of shtick.
All right.
You can do
Go
a
ahead
bit
and give me
tracking.
either perception or investigation, depending on how you want to flavor what you're doing here. And was Nana doing anything, or was just Nana just waiting as well?
No, no one wants to ask Rusty a question, but Rusty's busy, so I shall wait until he's finished.
All right, we'll get to it in a second then. Lachlan, okay. While you're looking around down here, is there any good clues down beneath it? Because you're down on the water itself.
Yeah.
While you're doing this, you actually catch a flash of movement above you to the south. It appears there's a figure hiding from you, trying to keep an eye on you, spying on you.
Ooh.
Whether or not you want to let this distract you from continuing to look around, or that's up to you.
I'll keep I'll keep a note on them essentially and keep them aware. So it'll be a little bit more of a distraction, I guess. So it won't be 100. It'll be like 80% of my attention is focused on still doing the job, and I'll be a bit just like, where are they? What are they doing? Essentially.
Fair. Let's have a look here. So
also-
they are a cloaked figure, and they are essentially up here, keeping an eye on you and kind of dashing forward and back.
Okay. Also,
from
if
this
they are talking and I can see their mouth, I can immediately know exactly what they're saying. I can read their lips perfectly.
Fair. Currently, you can. They've got their hood over their face, and their face is cast in shadow.
Does dark vision help with that?
You're only just able to catch their presence, even with that perception check.
Okay. So keep
But you
aware.
can. Yep. So you're aware that somebody is watching. You can feel their eyes on you as they're watching you from the south bank. But you continue exploring around, and you pretty much get there. There isn't any secret knowledge here to discover, other than it looks like the solar rolls up into the air. You can see from the natural falling of crumbs from the roadways above you that it appears that they continued up into the sky, kind of burning a hole into the roadways above you.
Well, can Lulkin not see like his vapor trail?
No, that requires detect magic, which Rusty will be able to tell you in a second, because that's magical, and unfortunately, their perception isn't quite that good yet.
Yeah, I'm not quite at that level.
They're getting
I can't
supernatural, not to magical supernatural.
I can't see through dimensions yet.
I did
He's
you
over
not
there.
have nat 20 that?
Nat 20 did.
That's a good
I
question.
see
Why
his shadow
didn't you
just
nat 20 that
disappearing.
lesson?
Why didn't I get a 33 perception check? Ah, God.
Actually, would have been their stealth check had I made one. Where is their sheet here? But Rusty, actually, let's go with Grognar, because Grognar would have done this before the 10 minutes is up. Got this in like a time order. You do quite a lot in 10 minutes, to be fair. Grognar, speaking out the celestial mumps out loud in celestial,
Well,
doesn't appear to be making you friends with the Deva. They still are ignoring you.
okay.
Probably more perplexed than anything.
They're just like, just if you ignore him, he'll go away.
Yeah.
Grognar sees he's having no fun with him and walks off to the next one over here.
Oh
Thinking maybe that's not one of the Devas we met.
He's into know
You're
him.
just gonna go through them all until you find someone you can speak to.
Yes, because I want to know how the manager's doing. Grognar doesn't think he can be useful down there. He's not very perceptive of anything. So he's just going to talk with the people up here.
That is fair. You get a similar response if you're just asking questions or trying to say words in Celestial. Looks like they've been instructed not to communicate with you. And also, unfortunately, none of these are the Devas that you're aware of. These are strangers.
They're new recruits.
I've
That
got
they
no
are.
idea.
Are you wanting to do anything else or continue futilely? Continue to fail.
Continue to. Next.
You can try getting violent with them. You can try pleading with them. What would you like to do? There might be consequences if you get violent. I would recommend
there
it.
will be. Not might.
When he decides to get violent. Not if, when he decides to.
I'm gonna start speaking in Giant and see if I can speak in a different language. See if that's a different kind of reaction.
One's just really into Giant. He's just some real enthusiastic about Giant knowledge. He's like, oh yes, someone to practice with.
They actually seem to get visibly upset by your use of the Giant language. As you know, Giants come from the Primordials, who were a rival to the gods during the Prime War, and as such, they probably fought against Giants in the Prime Wars.
Wow.
Well done, Grognar.
Would you
You've
like
been-
to continue?
You have mortally offended the group of people.
Not even a check.
By explaining to them the months of the year.
No, I would have.
You started saying hello, how are you in Giant?
Yeah. Essentially, I gave him a greeting in Giant, a pleasant one from my home dimension, not this one, not knowing anything about this one's Giant problem, and just now made it seem worse than it is.
Now you could have a giant problem.
Yep, that's you. But let's get back to Rusty as Grognar spends a good 10 minutes failing to make friends and actually upsetting some Devas.
If I've got time before the 10 minutes are up, by the way, I've got something I'd like to do with Norn as well. If that perception doesn't check the entire thing. Is that person who's watching us looking specifically at Norn, or is he looking at all of us in general?
All of you in general.
Okay, basically, I'm going to keep eyes, and when it looks like he's focused on somebody else, I'm going to go invisible and try to basically swim underneath there out of his line of sight.
Yeah, you do so. They start once they realize you guys aren't really discovering anything. They seem to switch their attention to Rusty.
Yeah, so Noah's basically going to get out of sight, and he's going to try to go around and sneak up on him, essentially.
Yep, with your climbing speed, you have no problem finding little pillars to get up and down from these.
Little pillars. He's like, what, 8 foot odds?
So they're me-sized, essentially. I'm big. None doesn't make any noise while moving, which is kind of nice. So, thank you, Boost of Elvenkind. And yeah, None's going to basically try to sneak up and grab him, essentially.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Come on, stealth check.
As you quiet your breathing and begin to approach.
I'll take that. 26.
Yeah. You manage to get incredibly close to them. They don't seem to have noticed your presence. They appear to have taken a little bit of step back here now that they've lost interest in you guys and are mostly focusing on Rusty. But you're able to get up and close to them. However, what would you like to do as you reach them? Are you going straight to grabbing them, or?
It literally will be like hand on the like. Have you seen the classic police officer one? Like, so what are you doing here? Big ass hand on one shoulder. Not like massive gonna try break bones or anything. Just like hand on shoulder. Like, so what are you doing here then?
Vulcan neck pinch him.
Just not gonna Vulcan neck.
Essentially going, hi, what are you doing here?
Pretty much, yeah.
As you do so, as you reach out your hand in a, you feel a very faint push against your abdomen of something sharp, of a dagger, kind of just gently nudged into you in front of you. As it appears, the figure has noticed your approach and has pulled out a dagger and essentially pointed it back towards you as you got close, to kind of ward against you a little bit. As this feminine voice whispers back to you, "That's close enough, thank you."
One of my tentacles is going to try wrap around the arm with the dagger in it.
All right, go ahead and make me an athletics check, as you effectively are grappling.
32.
Ooh.
32. Ooh, nice. All righty then. With a 22, you are able to wrap your tentacle around her arm. Would you like to squeeze? Are you trying to disarm her? What kind of message are you giving off? This will determine how she reacts.
It'd be the disarmed, basically.
Okay.
As you rip the arm off her.
That's what I meant. I'm not gonna rip the lass's arm off.
Hey, you said disarm.
Not that level of disarm.
Let's give her an insight check to see what your intentions are. This will determine how she reacts, if she thinks you're being hostile or not.
Yeah, it's not currently hostile. It's like, Jerry, what the hell are you doing? Essentially.
So on a
Careful
low roll,
thing.
she'll misconstrue you as attacking. On a high roll, she'll realize your true intent. Okay, 14's pretty good. She's going to be a little bit wary of you, but she's going to immediately spin and engage in combat.
Yeah.
Just because your attack was very careful not to be painful.
Mm-hmm.
But you knock the dagger from her hand and it clutters to the ground as you kind of gently squeeze it out of her hand. She doesn't resist. She doesn't turn around and attack you or anything. She seems to maintain her calm. As the dagger clutters with your passive perception, you're able to see intricate carvings of what looks to be a ghoul's face on the hilt, and a sheen of what looks to be a kind of necrotic purplish liquid ever so slightly tracing the blade off the dagger. It appears this dagger was lined with something.
Ooh, interesting.
But she doesn't resist. She doesn't flail or attack you or anything. She kind of just lets you release the dagger from her hand and kind of just stands there a little bit.
So, are you interested in this whole debacle as well?
You could say that. I represent a faction that's interested. What are you here for? You're not an angel.
We're also representing a faction that's interested. Probably a different one by the sounds, but I think we'd have been told about you otherwise.
Probably we're not aligned with the divine.
Ah, okay.
So, you gonna buy me a drink or anything, or are we just gonna stand here? Can I at least turn around and see my capture's face?
Sure, you were watching me for a while anyway, so you probably can figure out who it is.
That's fair. You noticed that, did you?
Naturally.
As she turns around, she lowers her hood, and you see the bluish face of a tiefling, decked out in leather and this long jacket with the previously had the hood up, as she stares at you with these emerald green eyes.
Kurt Wagner.
He's Assassin's Creed. Tiefling.
Assassin's Tiefling.
But while this is all going on, we'll get back to this in a second, as that's about 10 minutes. As Rusty, you finish casting Detect Magic, and as you do so, the world around you lights up in this faint golden glow, as just the plane itself radiates divine magic. But more importantly, as you're actually, let's go ahead and have an investigation check, because I gotta make you work for your clues.
Okay, investigation.
You're
not
now
right.
able to make the check, but will you succeed at it? You gotta disentangle the divine radiance of the plane from the divine radiance of the solar.
Not re-rolling that because that was a 1. So
20.
dirty 20.
Nice. Okay. So as you begin to piece together, then separate out the divine energies, you start to notice a slightly more darker shade of radiant energy that seems to be plopped along the northern roadway, almost like blood dripping down, but in this dark golden color that was initially kind of hard to differentiate from the golden glow around you, but just tuning into it, you're able to see a discerning pattern.
Is it
This
slightly darker because it's older, or
it appears to be more concentrated,
right?
but
Well, it seems to be like a trail here.
it has a similar color to the divinity ooze that you fought, since you were actually there.
It looks like the ooze. Are we? Are you? It seems to be going up. Pull out my broom and start following the trail.
Wee little blobs.
Mhm.
Oh, 1 second, guys. Way back and take 5-second break.
Curiosity, by the way, the runes on the knife that I disarmed out of her hands.
Mhm.
I'm basically checking what language, if they were readable for me. And
It'll
'cause
probably
actually,
be celestial.
I'm not convinced the celestial.
Tiefling.
Or
I'm convinced it
you make
might be
out of
abyssal. If it's abyssal, I
Yeah.
can read them.
if it's a tiefling, it'd more likely be infernal.
It'll be infernal or abyssal, most likely. It depends on who she's working for, because I've got a theory that we might not be getting on the right track with her. So I remember one of the factions that was interested was demons.
Yeah. Or devils more likely to be than demons.
I think I was specifically told demons.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I remember it was one. It was definitely fiends. I don't remember which one though.
I mean, demons tend not to be that organized.
Some
Whereas
of the demons
devils
are. But the problem
Yeah,
is
but they
demons
could
are
be
powerful
following
enough
somebody's
to.
lead.
Yeah, demons are powerful enough to like go. You're working for me now.
They're
Find me this
just
information.
grunts.
They're not dumb. They're just not organized.
I mean, their grunts is doing somebody
Oh,
else's
grunt work.
bidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Pawns.
Yeah, pretty much.
minions,
Yeah.
goons.
Like,
Goon,
do this, and
Enforcers.
you'll get this back.
The nameless goons.
Skivvies.
Gophers.
The gophers are working for the demon.
Chipmunks.
I mean, I've never watched the movies, but I've heard about them. I can totally imagine those things working for demons.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, Beyond D&D Beyond's updated their dice roller thing, and it's annoying.
Is it?
Can't you just turn it off?
No.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
You can't just turn it off.
I mean, I don't have the dice roller thing on mine, and I use Beyond 20 as well.
Yeah, I like the actual dice rolling.
Yeah, the actual.
Hey, at least they're not turned up
You
purple.
like the aesthetics of it.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I do. It's the click clack noise. You need to have the click clack noise when you roll the dice.
Yeah, I can kind of get that.
Alright.
As it scared the crap out of me last week because I was chatting with someone after the stream, and I'd accidentally left roll 20 open. Someone rolled the dice. It scared the shit out of me. It was like 3 hours later.
Yeah, I'd do that as well. I think it was Bob trying
Yeah.
something out, and
Yeah. I rolled my weapon attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you hit.
I heard the thing go off. I'm like, what the hell was that?
I rolled my
That's
weapon
Bob for you.
weapon attack because I updated it with the new strength score.
Mm-hmm.
I was making sure everything was sorted.
All right, I am back.
Yeah, the runes on the dagger, are they an actual language? And can I read them?
Let's find.
Or are they similar to the ones that was on the Lord of the Hunts quiver?
Let's have a little phrase around the ghoul's face. Let's see, what would it say?
I don't know what
The
language is it
daggers.
in.
The language phrase, and since you can read it, for it is abyssal.
Yeah, knew it.
It will say something edgy, like
Use the pointy end.
use the pointy end.
Yes.
Okay.
Death cometh
But
for
apparently
you.
you know nothing.
Death cometh for you.
Death comes
With
in the
death
night.
to your foes.
Yeah, it's edge. Edge.
If found, please return to.
That's in the small print underneath.
But yes, as I remember, Lachlan had discovered the interloper who was spying on you and discovered that it was a blue-skinned tiefling with this flowing white hair and curled back horns, decked out in leather. Rusty had used the tech magic and able to differentiate it from the surrounding energy to notice some what do you call it when like blood coagulated
Coagulate.
no,
Yeah.
coagulated radiant energy, almost like divine blood, similar to or divine ooze, similar to the divinity ooze that you fought previously, dripping away north of the map.
Congealed. There's also congealed.
Congealed. I kind of like coagulated. Sounds funny.
Both work.
Sounds better than
Coagulate.
congealed as well.
Both actually work in this particular one.
And Grognar was failing to make friends with the Devas, who just wanted nothing to do with him.
He was actually offending the Davers last time we heard. I
Actually
believe.
offending him. And Nana and Milligan.
Badly as well.
What are Milligan and Nana doing after noticing that Lachlan is gone?
Well, Nana was
Millig
going to
was
speak
just
to
about
Rusty,
to
so
ask. So, which way are we going? Rusty, what did you detect?
Remember,
So
Rusty is still up on the roadway. You've gone down to the waterway.
I would
How
have
are you
shouted it.
Well, Rusty.
Millig
how
is
is he-
just on his own on the water going, where are we?
Yeah,
Where
how
are we
is
doing?
Millig getting up and down? Nana can fly, and Lachlan has climbing speed. How is Millig? Are
I
you
got the
risking
ring
climbing
out
down?
water walking.
Yeah, but
Well, yes, but the
That's
water
not
is
helping the
30
rock.
feet below the road.
you would have took damage just going down, unless you
yeah,
climbed.
if you jump
You can
down.
climb down, but it will require an athletics check not to fall.
Thought, broom.
Did
you have a broom? That seems like something you can tell me and not me to tell you. If you have a broom, that's fair. You can fly.
Check your equipment.
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yes.
You have
I
a broom or a
broom flying.
parachute or something?
I feel like having a broom is something you should probably remember. Seems like a really important piece of equipment.
I never had it initially, but I just got it.
Ah, fair.
If you have a broom, you can easily just fly up and down and fly back up to Rusty then, no problem. Alrighty then. But yes, you fly up to Rusty. Since Lachlan has stealth and the other two individuals haven't broken their stealth, they're actually obscured from you as they are hiding just behind this archway. So Milik, you get up to Rusty, and Nana, what were you doing? Were you flying up to Rusty as well, or?
I was waiting next to Rusty because I had an arcana question for him.
Fair. Then Rusty, you have finished your investigation. You've caught this
Yep.
information. You guys may proceed with your roleplay.
So, Rusty, just a silly question for you because you're more involved in this area than I am. But if you were going to build something that broke treaties and could upset the balance in the heavens, wouldn't you put a self-destruct in it to make sure it couldn't be traced back to you if it all went, tits up?
You'd think, but I don't think these boys are that smart. Plus they're a bit too arrogant to destroy things that they've put a lot of work into.
That's also not a job restriction. We were told to bring it back okay-ish.
Minimal damage.
Yeah.
Minimal damage.
I think self-destruct is beyond minimal damage.
Well,
little
self-destruct just
bit.
means shut down as well, you know.
I think the Planetars and the gods are a bit too arrogant to put self-destructing into it. They
I think a
would assume that
fail
it'd work-
safe would be a better choice of words.
Yeah, I think they would assume that it'd work straight off the bat.
I mean, it's quite dumb for the knowledge domain, surely. They don't. Surely there's been many things in history that have tried to
Yeah.
make creatures and it's gone wrong the first switch.
I mean,
Maybe they've just tried some reverse psychology.
like,
'cause they
like I
think
said,
everybody else is that stupid.
like I said, they're not stupid. They're just arrogant.
Nah, meaning they think we'll be that stupid.
Yeah, I mean they think.
So reverse psychology.
Yeah,
They want us
they
to
do look
think that's
down
what
on
they
us.
would do.
Right, well, you guys have that conversation. Let's switch camera a little bit and head up to Grognar. Grognar, how goes persuading the Devas to be your friend?
Three very different conversations going on here.
Grognar
At the party.
starts freaking cursing himself in Elvish because he's just like, I don't know the he curses himself out and says, I don't know the damn customs in this place. They clearly don't like my language. I don't know enough of their language, and they don't speak common, apparently.
Seriously, they know all languages.
They just don't want to speak.
They
to
listen
you.
to you as you curse yourself.
It's just babbling in Elvish.
Go ahead and give me another persuasion check to see if they take pity on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say roll pity.
Roll for pity.
17.
Very pitiable.
Okay, they are good alignment, and you know, the knowledge domain. I don't know that they like people more than the other domains. I feel like the life domain likes people more than the other planes. But the quarry nearest you kind of eventually just slowly walks over to you very cautiously with like a hand outreach as if you're like a frightened animal.
It's okay. It's okay.
Grognar's
And
timid.
you hear in your voice, what is your preferred language?
Well, since he's speaking in Elvish, he'll just continue in Elvish because he thinks it's a more eloquent style of language than
Polite language.
a
It's
polite.
like someone speaking French because it sounds fancy.
It's a more polite language that he was taught. That's why he was taught Elvish when he was becoming a knight. It was a very
More noble.
elegant language.
Fair. Well, in your head, through telepathy in the Elven tongue, the Deva speaks to you. It's okay. It is okay there. Small, frightened, annoyed. Please calm down. There is no need for that verbal abuse to yourself. Are you functional? Do you need sustenance?
You need food.
Oh, hello. No, I merely wanted to infer and see if the manager was okay, and everyone else in the factory was good now. I got
If
on.
I tell you this, will you please stop trying to swear in the divine realms? It doesn't work.
Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to offend. That's what I was why I'm speaking in Elvish. It's nicer and polite society. I was told when I was younger.
Yes, well, our denizens don't like hostile attitudes, so please calm down. You will frighten the souls. I am checking my memory banks now. Please wait 5 seconds. As we switch back to Lachlan.
Okay.
So Lachlan, you've currently got the wrist of this blue tiefling. You've glanced down at their dagger with a ghoul's face on the hilt, inscribed with abyssal, swift death to my foes around the ghoul's face. You may proceed.
So, bit of a weird inscription on that knife there.
It was a gift.
From your employers?
Well, employers is the wrong word. We're more of a free-form organization with a common goal.
Ah,
Like
okay.
I said, I must insist, if you're going to interrogate me, can we do it somewhere more comfortable without this pressure to my wrist?
Do they look like they're about to, like, either A, jump me, or B, like, teleport out? If I let go.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, this is gonna go great. It's not passive insight either, because I actually get more for that.
Unfortunately not.
Actually, no, insight is wisdom. Actually, it's not as bad. It's bad, but it's not as bad.
You were saying?
I said it's bad. I
Uh,
said it's not as bad.
Her form looks natural to you. She doesn't seem to be itching her hand closer to anywhere. She seems calm enough. It's hard to tell what she's thinking. Actually, her face is kind of this blank, teasing expression.
Sure. I'm sure the others would be interested as well. I'd raise my voice when I'm saying that last bit.
Trying to draw their attention.
Yes.
And what about you? Who's hired you here since you're clearly calling your allies?
Just some concerned parties.
That's fair. Well, if you let go, why don't we go meet the pals?
Yeah,
We'll swap
I do.
stories around the campfire. I'll tell you who I'm working for, you tell me who you're working for. You know, if we like each other, we won't have to kill each other.
That's always a bit of convenience, isn't it? I say that very sarcastically sounding, but I do let go of her arm. Just expecting it either to A, try and stab me, or B.
And kind of like reading your expression, she actually puts both palms up towards you, kind of showing that she's unarmed. You really must relax and get to trust people. You're such a suspicious fellow. Can I pick that up?
Yeah, sure.
Like I said, it was a gift. It could hold sentimental value. At least that's what I'm going to tell you. It might not. You have no way to know. As she very carefully and cautiously like bends, like crouches down next to the dagger, reaches slowly for it, very carefully, clearly kind of trying to pallicate you.
Kate.
Yeah, that word.
Placate.
Placate. Having terrible words today. DM no word good. She picks up her dagger and slips it into the holster at her thigh, and then stands back up. All right, what should I call you? General, Admiral, Warden? Clearly, kind of tease you, trying to see if she can get a rise out of you. Most people like that.
Nah.
And then
Just-
twirls on her heels, revealing her back to you as she strolls forward towards your party.
Yeah, I'll just stroll after her. I'm not at massive attention of. I am definitely about to be stabbed. I'm just expecting her to. I'm not walking with any form of particular caution. I'm expecting she'll do it at some point, and we'll just deal with it then.
So
So,
who's General Grievous or?
She's also being followed by someone with a giant sword. So
drawn it, yeah. But yeah,
That's why he's going to General Grievous or.
But yes, Rusty, Nana, and Milik, you hear Lachlan's raised voice, and as you glance over, you see the blue tiefling strolling towards you, quite relaxed and with a spring in her step, with Lachlan following behind cautiously.
Not cautiously.
Oh, not cautiously.
Specifically.
How do you react?
Puts one hand on the handle of his hammer, ready to throw if she looks like she's going to do anything untoward.
Fair, right? The other two?
Just fly up and look at it a bit and say, "Oh my God, that is a lovely coat. You must tell me where you got it from."
Well, I'll answer your question if you answer my questions. You know,
I
a bit
haven't
of
asked the
tit for tat
question yet.
exchange. Oh, we'll get there. Let's do introductions first. Yeah, put her image up at the top left because I do like showing off the images. Again, all of these images can be found on Google by typing in D&D characters.
It is
I have
very
no
cool.
idea who did it. If you know the author or are the author,
We
there
will
you go.
credit them if you can
Thank
send us
you.
an email and say, thanks, it's
Yeah.
awesome art. We wish we knew who the hell you were.
Any aspiring artists out there end up following the stream and enjoying it, we'd love to show off fan art. That seems something incredibly cool. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
Fan art.
especially with,
Actually,
with the.
I actually know an artist who did one of my character for me in a previous campaign. Not a D&D character, it was in Shadowrun, but it was a very cool piece of art. So.
I do
imagine.
have friends who
Okay,
are.
that's if we ever do a stream, that's my goal. Get popular enough that people do fan art.
Fan
I don't care about the money or anything, just fan art.
art's the
Pay
real
us some fan
reward.
art.
Especially
I get that.
considering the random ass characters we make, and
Yeah,
with
we'll set up a Patreon where you can just send fan art instead of cash.
Oh, look at that piece. Yes, that's worth.
That's worth a month's sub.
But let's head up to Grognar. Let's see if we can bring the party back together for one scene, so I don't have to keep splitting between the three of them. Grognar, as you watch a couple seconds pass and the Deva lifts up their head, I have checked the memory banks. The planetar known as the Manager is currently undergoing a review by the Divine Review Board of Planetar Sanctions to see if their actions were warranted in the restricted incident.
Redacted.
But physically and mentally, they are fine. Spiritually, it is debatable. But I am not one to judge, and that is not a measurable metric. Will that
It's
be all?
imperial.
To make you please stop swearing and being loud within the divine plains of Noire.
Yes, thank you very much. That somewhat helps.
Thank you. Would you please take a second to rate my service on 1 to 10? Have I helped answer your question?
I'll just shout over, give him a 5, Grognar! 5 out of 5, you did great!
You can't hear what he's saying because it's in
Pretty
my
sure I
head.
can.
In my head.
Oh, shit.
You hear Grognar speaking, you don't hear what they're saying.
His
damn
lips
it.
not move.
Very helpful. I give you an 8.
I see. He grumbles and walks away.
The
It was out of 100, actually.
Did you say out of 100? No.
No, I said out of 10.
Sorry.
Actually, he didn't actually give me 3.
I'm sorry, my friend. The lesser mark was because no one wanted to help me straight away.
For
That's
10
my
minutes.
fault. We were
10
following
minutes.
instructions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I give you a 10.
Thank you. I've updated our records. Goodbye. Yes, Grognar, would you like to return to the party so we can have
Yeah.
one roleplay scene?
Grognar walks back.
You head back and you'll arrive in a second as the unknown tiefling sits down on the edge of this bridge, swinging her legs over as she kind of looks around at all of you. Well, this is nice, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
a little
rather.
bit of hostile capturement and friendly getting to know each other. What did you say your names were and who you were working for? Just smile
Didn't
at all of you.
There's a big toothy grin on Non's face as he's just like looking at the rest of You know the one.
Lachlan, why are you making friends in this place? Where did you find the bloody tiefling?
She's been watching us for the past 10, 15 minutes.
I mean, I've just been sitting here casting detect magic.
Yeah, I know. That's why I went and introduced them to people.
Fascinating, fascinating. Do you see anything with your detect magic?
No. All I see is the divine bloody shite around here.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
But also, I did this early, so you didn't say anything earlier.
That is an 11.
She just nods at you. Is that so? Fair enough. So what do we do now then? Am I free to go or am I captured here?
Well,
I
you
say
haven't given
Granum.
us your name yet.
Well, you guys haven't told me your name. It only seems fair. There's more of you. At least give me maybe, let's say, 2 of your names, and I'll give you one of mine.
No, the Watcher tells first, I think. It's only polite you were spying.
Well, that's fair, but
Ladies before gentlemen.
unless you plan on threatening me, which I wouldn't recommend, I'm just a helpless young lady out here in the Divine Realms. I don't have an incentive to tell you. You gotta give a little tit for tat.
What is
How
a
these meetings
tiefling?
work.
What is a tiefling doing in the divine realms anyway?
What's
About your
what are you,
area.
a gnome? Are you a gnome or
No,
a halfling?
halfling.
Halfling.
What's a halfling doing in the Divine Realm?
We're hired to be here
Oh, how do I know that's true? You won't tell me who hired you.
because I just need to know information, and you don't need to know.
All right, well, I was hired to be here, and that's need to know information, and you don't need to know.
Fair enough.
Well, there you go then. Seems like we've come to an impasse. So, am I free to go?
No, it's down to Lachlan here.
And
He did say that his food rations were running a bit low.
is Grognar walking back, and Grognar is going to charge across and smack her. Because Grognar doesn't know who she is and is just walking back after saying, "Oh, I thought what? Intruder!"
I see. All right then. You charge across. Give me an athletics check as you bounce across multiple bridges.
I'm gonna use
fly.
I'm gonna use my
Alright,
dash
you fly.
ability to go.
Gonna
Oh
do,
shit!
You
Uh,
can fly.
he's gonna do what he did on Friday.
Yeah, he's gonna go through the fucking door.
Dashing, dashing
alright.
crash.
As you do so, with supernatural movement, she rolls herself backwards off the cliff and jumps to her feet, standing right in front of Lachlan, aiming towards you, her back towards Lachlan. Go ahead and get your first attack off before we roll for initiative.
Okay.
God damn it!
No.
And I have to add in another hit dice for the dash.
Oh yeah.
That's my.
Hey, for once, actually roll higher on the two-handed damage than the one-handed damage. It's quite a rarity.
D10. Another 5, and that would be a 32 to hit.
Fair. As you describe to me how you're attacking, you're shooting out towards her. Remind me what weapon you have.
For the
Long sword of sharpness.
long sword of sharpness.
The baby vorpal weapon.
Long sword of sharpness. Okay then. Let's see.
Anything's a weapon for Grognar.
As you shoot directly towards her, unable to prevent your trajectory as you're just blasting across this, she reacts with precision and movement as your blade comes towards her, and she rolls backwards around Lachlan, grabbing Lachlan by the right side and just inching him forward just slightly, not enough to destabilize you or anything, but kind of anchoring herself against you as she rolls around you, interposing you into her between her and Grognar, as she uses the high level ability of misdirection, which allows her that when a creature goes to targets her for an attack, while a creature is in 5 feet of her, granting let's see, she can use her reaction to have the attack target the creature instead of her. Lachlan, does a 31 hit you?
32.
In a moment, I'm wondering if I've got anything for this.
Does a 32 hit you as suddenly you see Grognar face to face, his weapon coming towards you? You have a chance to use your reaction for something, if you're able to.
Yeah, that's what I'm checking if I can.
Otherwise, I'm hitting you with 22
Son
damage.
of a bitch. No, in this case, no, I've not got anything. Fuck you.
As Grognar continues in, unable to stop himself in the time, as the weapon hits into Lachlan. Unfortunately, it is high enough to hit Lachlan.
Mhm.
As Grognar, what is your total damage against Lachlan?
22 damage.
As Lachlan takes 22, was it slashing damage?
Yeah, and he reduces his speed as well because it's slasher.
And Lachlan's speed is reduced partly.
Right.
Was it by 10 feet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. As the tiefling leans in and whispers into Lachlan's ear, "Sorry about that, handsome, but I don't like being stabbed.
I
And
can't blame.
you just got such a beautiful scaly hide. I'd assumed it would survive much of it. Did not expect that level of damage. But
He's actually probably like sword sticking out of me, and no one's just going.
What? What?
Yeah, he's like this a lot of the time.
What? Oh. Lachlan?
Thanks, buddy.
I was aiming for. I was aiming for her. What are you doing here?
She stepped behind me. What did you think she just did?
but yes, everyone, roll for initiative, as unfortunately you have procced them into a hostile action.
There's a surprise.
Damn it! Actually, this sounds about right. I will write mine to 4. God fucking damn it, Greg.
Oh, wait. No, this is an ability check.
I'm sure I heard something about one scene.
No, we're not allowed role-playing scenes of Greg. Yeah.
As you enter your attack, you see 2 figures step out of the archway, approaching. One a human and male in. Let me grab the images up.
I really
into
like
the
that third
corner
image,
here.
by the way. The one on the far right's got a really cool image.
It's a bunch of bards. Kill them.
Because Bard. I know someone who actually looks like that, by the way. The red female one, I actually know someone who looks like
Bard,
that.
or the
The girl.
other lassie.
The other lass.
As the 2 figure steps forward and the middle figure calls out, "Tamara, do you have this, or do you need us to intervene?" "No, that's all right. I'll take care of this. You 2 just watch for now." As the figure known as Tamara rolls for initiative, her unknown colleagues deciding to step back. She appears to be confident enough that she could take all of you on herself. Has everyone rolled for initiative?
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's a hammer man first.
All
Hammer
right.
time.
Millig Hammerfist, it is your turn first. Two more suspicious individuals have appeared out of nowhere, materializing, but they don't appear to be engaging in hostilities just yet, leaving the figure known as Tamara to deal with you. What would you like to do?
First question: where's the puddle jumper in relation to us?
You did not use the puddle jumper to get here. You used the divine ticket teleportation plane shift spell to get
In
here.
a different dimension.
Bugger.
Yes, that was purely to travel around the astral plane. To travel around the
Ah.
divine plane, you have teleporting cloaks.
Yeah. In that case, Spark is still on the puddle jumper.
Bring him with you.
I couldn't, because it's technically a creature and it would need the cloak.
We have a
To be fair,
spare.
for the sake of animal companions that are related to your class, I'm fine counting them as part of you
Okay.
because they literally are part of your class.
The leopard's still in the bag.
Yeah, that's fine. Leopard still be in the back.
Okay.
The bardic individual is going to lean against the pillar, while the what looks to be a cleric mage is going to watch on, excitedly clapping as she watches. But
Gonna,
Millie, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna attack tomorrow, but I'm
Oh, and can
angry
we
now.
get can somebody activate rhythm to get some music on the go?
Yep. 2-6.
Sorry, what was that, Neil?
Make sure.
I'm gonna be raging because
Sure. Right.
she's made me angry by
Existing.
dodging.
She dodged the sword of the of the angry Goliath, and you're mad at her for dodging.
Well,
She's being slightly deceptive as well. She tried to stab you.
She didn't.
She
You're-
pulled
She
the
did.
knife on you.
you're
But
mad.
so is everyone else you've ever met.
I'd say you're more mad that she's went and made me cut one of our
Cut a
At least
allies.
that as well.
Still stuck in my shoulder. I'm like, you're very mad at her. You're right.
Oh damn! Wasn't even an advantage for reckless or anything.
Oh
No,
yeah.
it was just raging.
Just
Oh, and I
raging.
didn't even add the rage damage in.
Hot damn!
That's
Right then. Oh, no, not that. Come back up there. All right. Let's see. So you're just flying over to her. Oh, you have a hammer of yours. What's your range on that? You get like
It's-
20 feet-ish?
there's 20 feet and 60 feet.
Let's see. 10, 20. All right. So go on. Get over at least 20 feet so you're not rolling at disadvantage.
That could have been his reckless attack, actually.
You can recklessly throw that at if you wanna from a higher distance. You just want to throw while you're moving towards her. Since presumably you want to be recklessing as much as possible.
I did
But
find
yes,
out
that-
that hits because she already used her reaction, so I can't make that misdirect to someone else.
Hey, please don't hit me again.
What is the total damage there, including the crit, including the extra rage damage?
What's your rage damage now, Melick?
Wait, did you roll a 1 on this die?
It was a 1 on the D10, but the crits were pretty good.
Wow, that's a really low crit damage.
Oh, a moment.
No idea.
A moment. I'll mute myself
It's
on
plus
Discord
3.
so I can get it.
+3, so what is that? That is...
It's
No, it's not coming through on stream as far as I can tell.
No,
I'm... Oh.
It's not on stream now. I'm making sure I don't want to stream it. Put unmute rhythm if it's not royalty free music, because yeah, I will get rock.
Yeah, DMCA. I thought it was royalty free, wasn't it?
the music James plays is because it's somebody they know.
Ah, fair enough.
What is that? So that's 32 damage? She takes 32 damage. All right, Milik, you want to throw your second attack at her?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. And are you doing this recklessly, or are you throwing from a distance?
I just threw him from a distance again.
Fair. A 23 does not hit.
Yeah, so not.
She manages to flex out of the way. Millie, is that your turn?
That was just being lenient after
Warning
that
After that
damage.
throw.
walk
Yeah.
to the face, as you hear her grunt in pain as she just narrowly, just as it scrapes across her cheek. Ah, you know, you lot aren't particularly hospitable.
I think I'm perfectly hospitable. Thank you very much.
We're very hospitable.
Well, that's fair. You I
But
might
I
like
think you're
live.
kind of hostile.
Those two are dying though.
Yeah.
But Millie, if that's your turn, you have a bonus action. Nana, it is your turn before it's Tamara's.
Okay, I'm just going to move over here so I can get a better eye on these two. But then I'm going to shoot at her with my Gatling gun.
Do you have a Gatling gun?
Yeah, she's the
Okay,
warlock. Of
fine.
course she has a Gatling gun.
Oh, I
Oh,
rolled badly.
Rusty, have
Oh,
you
that's
Well,
still
one
got
got-
spark?
As the first two shots hit, but the third one manages to get just nudge them out of the path of Lachlan, so you can smack her in the shoulder there. Are you using Jeannie's wrath on this one? I imagine you are.
yes.
Oh, she's supposed to have ice resistance, isn't she? Or cold resistance.
Yeah,
It's
Bob. I
fire.
think because this is non-commercial, we can use it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, because if she... Oh, she's a special tiefling that has ice and fire. That'd be
I don't know, she's a blue tiefling. They tend to have cold resistance and stuff. Are
interesting.
makes sense. What was that? Oh no, Genie's wish isn't a dice roll, isn't it? So it's just +5.
Fire
That's
damage.
7 + 8. What is it? 15, 20 damage. 20 force damage. She takes it. 19 misses. The 27 hits though. For an extra
Oh, nice.
12 force
12
damage.
damage.
Again, she takes more blasts to the shoulder. Nana Muffins, is that your turn?
I'm sorry I'm ruining your coat. I do honestly quite like it. Yes, that's my turn.
Well then, who should die first, I wonder? Let's see. Okay. She is going to use a bonus action to ignite her fighting spirit.
Ooh.
As a bonus action, you can give yourself advantage on all weapon attacks until the end of the current turn. When you do so,
Samurai.
you also gain 15 temp hit points.
Samurai.
Ah,
You do that.
fellow samurai.
So it's one of her fighting spirits then. Okay, let me just remember how many attacks she has. Let's go. Okay. She is going to roll it back around Lachlan in the opposite direction, coming up towards Grognar. And let's go ahead and attack Grognar. Let me see here what she got. She's got a +14 to hit. She pulls out her scimitar from her hip, and it goes and attacks you for a 32 to hit. Does a 32 hit there, Grognar?
Yep, 32 will hit. There's nothing I can do equal to 32.
That's fair. As you take 13 slashing damage,
Okay.
and she is going to attack again. She has advantage on all of these for a 25 to hit.
And 13 damage. I
If you'd
will.
like, good shield.
I'll shield.
Fair. Let's see, can you do anything about that? I don't think so. She doesn't have spells. Her allies could potentially counter, but they're not going to. So yeah, that's fine. You shield, you manage to deflect her attack as she comes in for a third attack. Ooh. for a 27. What does your shield bring you up to now?
26.
26, so 27 is gonna hit there for an extra 15 slashing damage. As let's see here. Do that once per turn. All right, she is going to forgo her attack advantage, and gain a 5th attack instead. This will just be for her rapid strike. So this will be 2 flat rolls then. For a 28 to hit.
Yep.
For 15 slashing damage. And then her 5th attack with her rapid strike as she continues to accelerate. Ooh, for a 30 to hit.
Yep.
For another 11 damage. As she stares you in her her rapier. Was it rapier? Her scimitar, jabbing at you, slicing through your muscle and taking you down some health. How are you looking there? That wasn't too much damage.
I'm still good.
You are still good.
Actually
She's already used her bonus
makes sense that
action.
She's done so much.
And you have threatened her quite a lot here, so she is going to action surge. And she is going to take the attack action again.
They all have advantage. Yeah.
As she has another 4 advantage. And luckily she can only do her rapid strike once per turn, so since it's still turn, she won't get a 5th attack, but she will have 4 more attacks.
That is to balance that class, because otherwise it would be potential to do 10
Yep.
attacks in one turn, which
A 28 to hit, which again hits.
Yep.
For 16 slashing damage. Let's have a look here for... Ooh, that's gonna miss.
all that combined.
A natural
Oh.
20
You can't.
as this.
Oh yeah, he's immune to crits.
That's fair. Well, she doesn't know that. So you won't double the dice. However, unbeknownst to her, since she doesn't know she can't double it, she is still going to use her sneak attack.
Hmm.
For, let me just double check what her sneak attack is. So she is quite a powerful individual.
I like this girl.
All right, as you take 53 slashing damage. And luckily for you, that wasn't doubled.
106.
It's like he felt that.
Yep.
Yeah, it doubles the dice is the thing, so.
Yeah, it might roll slightly lower. And with her fourth and that final attack for her, what is that, 9 attacks in total? For a 25 to hit, which misses. As she just goes in at you and then takes one step to the left, still within your reach, but essentially partially putting Lachlan between the two of you. As she leans in on
Dragonborn
Lachlan's
shield.
shoulder, staring at you. Are you bloodied, by the way? How
Yep.
is she seeing you? You're bleeding from a dozen cuts as she stares in at you. And I fairly unleashed all of my power. This is what you get for attacking random people, you idiot.
Can I sort of... Would I recognize the fighting style as a samurai? As a fellow fighter?
As a fellow fighter, yeah, I would say that. I would say you just kind of innately know the different fighting types. You're a fighter. You can't do
I
that as a fighter. What
recognize
can you
that
do?
style.
It's the same subclass.
I see this is similar fighting style, a samurai, and go, a fellow samurai, I see.
She's got a point,
As he's
Grognar.
spitting out blood.
Yeah, she's got a point, Grognar.
Very good, strong point. Ha! I like this one. Sorry, I charged at you.
Are we gonna calm down now? How about since, the tables have been reversed, why don't I give you a deal? Tell me who you're working for, and I won't kill all of you.
kill.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well, I'll let you think about it for a second. But the next person to attack me, I'm going to kill them. As Rebecca.
Hey, you're
Oh yeah,
up.
because I gave Grognar one attack beforehand. Grognar is now your full turn rather than just your one attack.
A special
Okay.
request, Grognar, go around to the other side, don't just stab me, please, if you're about to do this.
Just
Uh.
move over a little bit.
Don't worry, darling. I'll use you as a shield no matter where you go because I'm coming with you.
Lachlan gives her a piggyback.
But Lachlan, as you're actually getting this close, you kind of glance over. You notice that there is a what can only be described as a diamond-shaped 8 figure, inscribed, inked into her neck.
Do I recognize it?
Ooh, there's a possibility, but it's going to be a quite high DC. Give me a history check.
Ooh, can I physically make this? Probably not.
Let's go DC 25. Can you make 25?
Not with that.
Nope.
Can't physically make it, so...
No, this is quite a
Never
rare and
mind, dude.
obscured organization that deliberately obscures itself because it doesn't want to be public.
I'm gonna get stabbed again, and I haven't had a chance to
I've
rage
got
yet.
it. She's with the Illuminati.
Not that
She's
far
with
off,
the Deluminati! She's with the Deluminati, because demons!
Grognar is going to sheath his sword behind him, and I'm sorry. I was rash to action. We have faced many things in the past that have attacked us, and I'm a bit quick to action with my boots and everything. So I do apologize. I was. And Grognar's
Give me a
just
persuasion check.
gonna apologize.
Yeah, fair. Give me a persuasion check. See if you can actually camp her down. She's not one to let a slight go unpunished.
I think
So
I'll
see if you can actually
I'll
persuade her not to murder you.
Alright.
You know what you've got to get?
Right, she did use actually quite a lot of resources initially of the burst just to show her strength against you.
Persuasion.
Fortunately, you guys are powerful enough looking that people aren't going to pull their punches
Yeah.
if you get into a fight. She kind of stares it down at you. You can see this cold reflection in her eyes. She does a couple calculations in her mind. Tell me who you work for, and I'll accept your apology.
Is he that dumb? Is Grognar actually that dumb? This is where we find out, guys.
Grognar's
Intelligent.
Grognar's brutally honest.
Oh dear, he is.
We work for the angels.
We're not.
Does
Work
Grognar
for the
actually?
angels.
Does Grognar actually know who we're working for again? Other than
Oh,
Them.
the,
yeah,
I
we
mean, he
met them,
kicked you in
but
the
that's
forehead.
what
I
I
feel like
remember.
I feel like you have a rough idea.
I will mention the what was the guy who the orc
Vernus,
Ver-
god of domination and bloodlust,
I'll
creator of the orc race.
I'll mention him because I remember
You
the
don't know
conversation
him.
a conversation with him.
He
I
likes you.
was gonna say before Grognar could say, could I shoot her?
Yeah, so we can essentially delay Grognar's turn there for Rusty to have a go.
Yeah. Before Grognar manages to say anything, Rusty pulls out his gun, which is almost as big as him, and fires at her
All right.
for a 30-20 for the first one and a 32 for the second.
The dirty 20 misses, and as the 32 strikes towards her, she pivots around Grognar, grabs Grognar's.
Thank
Grognar,
God.
do you have hair?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Grognar got hair.
bald.
Alive.
Grognar
she
is.
just-
He grabs his ears.
She grabs Grognar's ear and tilts his head and ducks under the back, ducks down to his back so that the shot hits into Grognar.
Okay.
As she has her reaction back.
Okay, then in that case,
Grognar take 39 necrotic damage.
Air Force.
Oh, take 39 force damage.
39 force.
In
As
that
she
case,
pops her
I
head back up.
am going to I'm going to action surge.
Damn. Okay.
Jump on the broom and fly 50 foot up, so I've got a better
Angle.
better angle on her.
Guess what? You just about
Um,
downed me.
Yeah, sorry. So 16 is going to miss, and
Hey, do
another
it.
32
That
for
hits.
36 there, and
Yep,
I'm
she only
also
has one.
going to jolt that, so that's another D2, 2d6. Where's my thing? Where's my roller? Oh, fucking! I'm just gonna roll it on here.
That'll work.
Gotcha.
Nope.
It's slash. It's slash first.
Slasher.
Slash off.
For an extra 5 force damage.
She takes it. Not bloody.
Then I am going to whistle for Spark to let loose a barrage of missiles.
Now remember. Okay, that's fair. You can aim away. Luckily, there's nobody on the diagonal from Lachlan and Grognar. Yep.
Over here, so it's like landing behind her. So
All right, what am I making again?
Dex 16 save.
Dex 16 save. She has officially Dex save. That's fine. She fucking napped. I need that.
What I'm learning
She
is
flips over Grognar and Lachlan with both hands on their shoulder. Her hilt kind of digging into Grognar's shoulder as she flips over and uses them to block the blast from her.
Okay, so she still takes half the damage.
She
So
would if she was not part rogue and had evasion.
evasion.
So she does it. She does it naturally. I do it because of armor.
Okay.
I think
Rusty
the real
says,
question is
"You're really pissing me off now."
I can't help it if a girl's got skills.
Can we hire her?
I want to point out, this is why whenever I pick up a girl, you guys never meet her.
Tamara
you've never
turns
picked
to
up a
Grognar.
girl.
Sorry, darling, you can't hire my services. You don't have the money.
Fair
No,
enough.
so I'm one organization kind of gal. That's a lie. I could totally be paid for. I do a side work as mercenaries. Here's my card.
She's an
I
accountant.
I take the card.
I actually would take the card. It's like, I'm interested, why not?
Along the surface, it says Tamara Lilith, rogue fighter for hire.
I'll keep in mind if we ever if we ever run into that red again, I might need we might need you to deal with some devious.
One of my tentacles, Jerry will take the card off of Grognar and just put it in my back. Cause like, I'm having that.
Hey, that was
On
mine.
the back, you see a picture of her winking at you for the sending spell.
Do you have another card?
Oh, sorry, no. I like to make parties fight over one. You're gonna have to kill your friend if you want it.
Fair enough.
Rusty, is that your turn?
Made a decent attempt so far.
But yeah, that's my turn.
Fair. It technically goes to Lachlan if you want to do something at the end of the round before Grognar gives the information she's wanting.
Yeah, no one actually will. One, he's going to have one of his tentacles just go over Grognar's face.
Just trying to stop him from saying it.
It worked last time. It worked to the gods last time.
Grognar, are you fine with this? Would you like to try and resist, or?
You're going off the cliff, if not, dude. Not gonna lie. If it's not, you're going off the cliff. I'm telling you this now.
Grognar still tries to say it, but with the thing on
With
it.
the tentacle over his face.
Because he knows he can't get the tentacle off because it knows
You've tried.
he's tried before. Mm.
Fair.
And-
As you do that, Tamara leans into Lachlan's ear and whispers in a cold, serious voice, "If you stop him talking, I will slit your throat."
Apologies, this. It's all in good business. And no one is going to draw the rocket-powered greatsword and just swing it down.
As she does a 35 intimidation.
Okay.
You can interpret that however you'd like.
Cool. She's serious. And I'm going to bring the greatsword down on her. But actually, I'm going to first... no one's eyes, because imagine she's looking at them.
Mhm.
Normally they're red. Now they're glowing red. Because I'm going to rage.
Oh, damn.
And I'm going to bring down the rocket-powered greatsword. With his tentacle that isn't Grognor's face and his normal 2 arms. 26.
26 hits.
Wham!
What is the total here? Because you got a little extra.
Yeah, so it's 3... I actually did include the rage damage.
Nice.
Because she's injured, that's that one. So 4 fire damage and 35 slashing damage.
35. She is bloodied.
And I also have slasher, so she's slowed.
Fair.
And I'm gonna swing again.
Right.
For 29, actually wait a minute. Can I do that? Because this is actually a spell. Yes, I can actually. So I'm actually going to Favored Foe as well. Which is basically Hunter's Mark, but not a spell.
Alright, fair.
So that is this with every attack? First time in each of the turns, so that is actually just plus 4 additional damage on that first attack, essentially.
Alright, that's 4. Minus that, alright.
So yeah, 29 slashing damage and 4 fire damage from the second hit.
Yep, taking off.
And she's slowed further 10 feet.
Yep.
And now he's just gonna growl.
The slasher effect doesn't stack.
Does it not?
No,
No.
only one hit.
Ew.
That's a shame. And her speed is only reduced by 10. But is that you?
That is none.
Alrighty.
None still has his
then.
grin on his face, but his nuts grin now instead of friendly grin.
At the end of your turn, let's see here. She is actually a lot more weakened than she. Dear God, that was a lot of damage for that round.
And that's in like 6 seconds that happens.
Yeah, she's heavily bloodied now, and that these guys do not want to die. So yeah, she is going to use her legendary action to move half her speed without provoking an opportunity attack. She flips backwards and cartwheels back a couple steps. Or technically 10, because she's down to 20 speed. She cartwheels back by 10 feet. She looks at you. I guess it didn't matter anyway. All I want to know is who you're working for. I would have found out eventually. But let's make this clear. Next time I find you, one of you dies before you ever see me.
You can
Maybe
try.
the Dragonborn. I thought we had a thing going.
No one's gonna just wink at her, because he can't really communicate while raging.
She snickers. Yes, definitely you.
Locken's playing hard to get.
But Millig, you actually have a turn before she can retreat.
That is Nana, actually. Possible.
I'm gonna fly forward a little bit and attack her.
Alright, go for it.
Still raging.
28 hits. For 19 damage. plus an extra 3 of the next year count it in.
Yeah.
22. 23 does not hit. Ah!
It's a second one.
For God's sake, I'm trying to retreat here. You don't have to keep hitting. But Millig, is that you?
Yes, I don't think there's anything else I can do.
As at the end of your turn, she is going to reach up with her 2 index fingers and tap them against the tattoo across her neck. As she stares at you, it begins to swell with energy around her. Unfortunately, this is an innate casting. It does not produce an effect to be countered. As she stares at you, fully back, you know. That solar is going to be ours. And God help anyone who gets in our way. Bye, dearies. As she
Yeah.
vanishes and her 2 allies similarly reach up to their necks, tapping them and vanishing in a puff of light.
As I realize they're going, I'm just gonna like tip my hat on the way out and just go, "Nice meeting you."
Mhm.
No puts his
As-
hands. Oh.
Yep.
I've got one line. And Non's gonna put his hands on his hips and go, "Why can't I never meet any nice girls?"
Grognar would give you a response, but you got a thing over
Yeah,
your
he-
mouth, so you just
will
hear.
then take his He'll then take the tentacle off of Grognar's face.
That ends the initiative and your encounter with the mysterious faction that you could probably assume has some relation to the Abyss.
Yep.
Or to the demon faction hunting the Solar.
The people we were told explicitly to murder. Which is to point out.
That's because demonoids are the scourge of the universe, entirely evil, with no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Apart from a nice coat.
I like him. I like him.
Yes. And you still never found out where she got it.
Next time before she dies.
I also, by the way, I have just put in Norn now has 2 rivals. Tamara Lilith the Tiefling and Doors.
Question is, does anyone remember Tamara Lilith? Because you have met her once before.
I
haven't-
don't
I
think
will
this
try.
party. I don't think this party is meta.
I
Also,
know, this part hasn't met her. Only the players who aren't
Oh.
big there.
Oh,
I have never
yes,
met her,
yes,
hands down. So.
Yeah.
I know her.
As players, we've met her before in
Yes.
the.
She screwed us.
Yeah, she screwed us over.
I like this girl.
It was
She was
Elemental Earth plane.
Yeah, she was funding and organizing a rebellion in Wisp Charcoal Plantation in the Earth Ring
So is that
against the divine patrons who were essentially propping up and supplying Wisp Charcoal.
Okay.
so the session Gang War was in, but didn't. I didn't.
You
wasn't
weren't in
there.
that one.
Was that?
I'm sure there was an earlier session because you met her as the leader of the rebellion.
It was Gang War as that session, but
Yeah.
I didn't appear for the following session that you left the dimension. So-
Yeah, it was when like everything collapsed.
Yeah. She claimed she was helping us, and she kept disappearing.
Yeah. Then she's nicked something and then buggered off.
Yeah, and she killed some important dude and blamed it on us.
Yeah.
So she killed Gang War's clientele.
I think she
Amongst
killed
other
Charcoal.
people, yes. And
Before
we're
we
like,
end,
we're getting out of here.
you guys have a trail to follow north to the next location where the Solar went before leaving this plane.
Yeah.
That you can follow next week. But before we end, Lachlan, are you describing the tattoos to anyone? If you guys wanted to see if one of you knew that.
Yeah, no one's going to go. They had this weird tattoo, the thing they were pressing on the neck to get out of there. Anyone recognize it?
Might be a cool little lore tidbit if one of you makes a high enough history check.
Oh yeah, and also tell them about the knife as well.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I don't think the knife has any significance. It's just a magical poison
It's-
dagger.
It's more it had abyssal runes on it and what it said, because I can read abyssal.
That's
So,
fair.
so
But
probably
what's your
assuming
banana?
he's to be to do with the devil or the demon.
I'm gonna flash myself and take myself up to 30-20 as well.
Dirty 20 as well. Unfortunately, the DC was 25. This is quite obscure information.
No one can guidance Grognar, can they? Because he might actually get it.
In that case, could I have flashed Nana?
Nana.
Yes, and it makes more sense for Nana to know this than Grognar, because Grognar's not even from this damn world.
Not from this planet.
Grognar's just thinking of the tattoo.
Let's quite like the idea of Nana having this really obscure child nightmare book, like Boogeyman Tale of this
Yeah.
demonoid organization that she tells to her kids, her grandkids.
Yeah, checks out.
So Nana, something procs in your mind about the symbol. You've seen it previously in one of the fairy tale boogeyman stories you tell your grandkids about a secret organization of demonoids hell bent on destroying the seven pantheons. It is called the Eighth Order Syndicate.
Penguin publisher.
And it is a secret demonoid organization made up of demonoids, individuals who have a corrupted soul from the corrupted soul engine, and who reside in the abyss and the higher plane of Evelyn, which is a corrupted divine plane spewed with evil. And they are said to essentially be a divine terrorist organization. They organize and support rebellions against divine patriarchies and any kind of undermining the divine hierarchy. And you've met three of their most powerful members, one of which is Tamara Lilith,
I got a
a
phone number.
mastermind rogue and samurai fighter.
Which we nearly took out in a round.
We hit fucking hard, okay?
Oh
And
yeah,
Grognar-
remember, she also almost took Grognar out in a round, so it was
Yeah.
5 of you against 1 of her. The other 2
Yeah,
didn't
but-
even help.
Yeah.
She
Well,
knocked me down to what 49 before you Rusty
well,
took me
not
down to
Burnham
10.
Mimic helped take
Yeah.
it down.
Also, to be fair, she was hitting the person who has a lot of health, no way to mitigate that damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I raged.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you should probably take at least 1 level in Barbarian so you can at least half that.
He's got heavy. It doesn't work.
Yeah, my armor.
You need some way to get resistant to physical
You got-
damage.
Techno King.
My Techno King armor normally negates a lot of them actually even hitting me, but
Oh yeah, the fact that he had adamantine effectively armor that prevented that sneak
Yeah,
attack
it's-
from critting on
Killing him.
her attacks that all had advantage, and any of which could have procced a nat 20 on sneak
Mhm.
attack. Like I'm pretty sure had she attacked anyone else, and Grognar had used shield
yeah,
with like a 7th AC.
26.
I'm pretty sure if she attacked anyone else, she would have gone down. But yeah,
Possibly
any
me and
like
Millig might have been able to tank it. But...
anything with that kind of action economy on your side with 5 against 1, you guys are just going to win no matter how powerful she is, unless
Yeah.
she's literally a boss monster designed to go against groups. She's powerful, but she's still just an individual at like the peak of annoyed power level.
I also like, by the way, because clearly plus 20 in 2 classes. Samurai is one of the best to do plus 20 in 2 classes, because I actually have an NPC which is plus 20s in Samurai and Kensei.
Mm.
So it was nice seeing a bit of a similar character just wrecking someone. It's very enjoyable to watch.
Even though it was Grognar.
Yeah, so
Especially because it was Grognar. It was great.
potentially in a future session, you might find out what the other 2 can do, and then how strong are they all together.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, that is today's session. We
Yeah,
can essentially wrap up there. That is today's stream. Thank you for watching, and I guess at some point we need to do like Tales from Alterra, a little like couch chat where we discuss the episode, all the secret plot elements. Did you notice anything?
Alterra After Dark.
Terra After Dark.
World of Warcraft.
and I figured since this is the last session, I figured might as well stream this one so you can see at least the tail end of our powerful encounter.
Well, it's not the last session. It's the last.
It's the last arc.
last
yeah.
part of this arc.
Yeah.
So you get to see the
This is
bullshit we've
absolutely no
made.
context at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, we'll definitely need to get the Alterra Twitch up and running for season 2 of this.
Yeah, 100%.
Potentially, if we are going to do like a proper stream, there's a bunch of stuff I'd want to do, such as actual like advertisement or at least word of mouth.
Well,
And also just invest in some proper streaming equipment.
I can advertise it on my stream as well. And,
Yeah, I mean,
host it and things, so you'll get some bits from me.
yeah, I mean, like Bob or even myself, we can like actually stream it for you.
Yeah, even because Kaylee also suggested they could help moderate and stuff because they quite enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Right.
Also being a mod for it. So
That'll be something we can potentially look into after this arc and season. Because I'd also want like a lot of audience participation and saying of like if you do like a couple, you know how some people have those like if you reach certain milestones you get to input something into the campaign. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd
with
like that.
channel points, but I don't think you get them until you're like partner or something.
No,
Yeah,
affiliate.
that'd be a longer term goal.
you can
Except
Oh,
on
it's-
audience first.
you can
Well, it's
get
affiliate that you
you
get them.
get channel points affiliate.
yeah,
'Cause-
affiliate. Yeah, because we get them.
Yeah, but to get affiliate, we need to reach certain milestones, which we can easily
Yeah.
do. We can.
Yeah, they're not too challenging ones.
Yeah, I think
Partner's hard to get.
the 50 followers is probably the hardest one.
We
It's
can,
actually not. Honestly, that's the easy part.
Yeah, we can go around our friends and
Yeah,
find. Even if we can get some of the people from Geek Retreat from.
Yeah, the followers are fairly easy. The hard bit is the consistent viewership. But I was watching the stream the entire time. We had actually the consistent viewership to do it.
yeah. I mean, I've had it up in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been moderating it. I've been in the chat.
Have you?
Yeah. So, hopefully
I posted. I caught an edgelord.
hopefully at some point we can switch it from being hosted on my channel to be a proper Alterra D&D stream.
Yeah.
I can possibly talk to one of my friends for giving us art for it. If you want.
Alright.
I know someone we can get some. We'd have to pay her, but we could get some commissions and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd also have to look into that because I just use a lot of Google stuff and
Yeah.
we want to tighten that up a bit.
I might as well
Yeah.
throw her a advertisement anyway. If you don't mind me throwing an advertisement for someone
Oh
else.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, a very good friend of mine does watermark artwork. They are on Facebook. They do fantastic art and drawings and all their whole shebang. They've done characters for me in the past, and they are great. They actually did my what are they called? Emoji. They did the art for my emoji on my Twitch channel, so they're great.
nice.
Give them business. They're awesome, and they're also my head mod. So
Let's see. Do I have your emoji?
I don't know actually. Are you subscribed to me?
I don't know. I currently just
If not, why not?
use my random one for free one, but I also have an artist who does my stuff, which is my emoji there, which is done by
I can
a fellow.
throw mine up actually.
Yeah, go for it. By a fellow streamer as well, Astarican. And there you can see Wolfie's.
Wolf your eye.
Yes, we have my
Oh, Fenris Crow.
channel art was done by one of my other friends who tattoo artist called Kimberly. So I know a few people, so we could have some Alterra art commission done for us.
Yeah. We know people.
Fair.
So
Yeah.
look instead of looking for Dragon Bob's, I'll probably still be hosting it at least. But
Yeah, I'll definitely be hosting it as well. We'll keep ears out.
but
Uh-huh.
we will.
Yeah, and also I'd want to let's finish up this arc and then we can look into getting the
Yeah.
Alterra stream
Yeah.
up for the next whatever we
Adventure.
do next. Because I know James wants to do something, so we could do something like on Tuesday, and then I could do something on Friday, and then we could have like a talk show on like Sunday. Have a Sunday talk show.
Depending on what time I have another Sunday game.
Yeah, it'd be something like we just have like one or two people on, just and some guest stars or something.
I
Right.
have to hop on
chatting.
every so often.
We wouldn't have like have every single player on every time.
But
Whoever happens to be available.
So, like sort of Talks Machina sort of format.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like that, actually. One of those shows.
so there are some things for you to look forward to in the
Yeah.
future for the GMs of Alterra and
Yeah.
some of the players of Alterra and
The menaces of Alterra, I think, would be an accurate description.
Yeah,
Ah,
but yeah, that'll be fun when that happens.
true that.
But yeah, as for this one, yeah, this was a fun session.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
As always.
Probably didn't get much done as much done as you thought we would, but
yeah.
We never get anything done.
that's true.
Technical difficulties at the start for
Yeah.
get this started off so you can at least see who's talking
Yeah.
as well, so you can see who is actually voicing the characters if you want to.
As if you could miss a few of us who have voiced certain characters, to be fair.
Yeah.
yeah. I
But-
mean, seeing as you tend to use your own voice, there will. But yeah,
I'm not good at voices particularly. I have my own voice and really irritating other voices. And loud. My voice has changed from irritating to loud. So
yeah, fair enough.
And you can go, meow. Exactly.
my cat just got stalled by that.
So what did
Yeah.
you say?
What did you
Yeah.
say to
How
me?
dare you call me that?
How dare you talk to me in that tone of voice?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, should I at least do my wrap up for this one?
I would say let Chris do wrap up, and then you do yours.
Go.
Yeah, well,
And then
let's just
Wolfie,
wrap
you
up.
do yours at the end.
There you go. If you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed the Alterra content, if you enjoyed the planar hopping adventures and wacky antics of our players, leave a message what you liked, what you'd like to see more of. If the idea of audience participation and getting to throw a potential Tarask at the party excites you, comment that as well, and we'll
Fully down.
sure
I'll
we
find
can
a
work
draft.
something out once we get any official streams on the go. Thank you for watching Alterra.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't forget to follow me and Bob.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Do it.
Only follow
Like
Bob.
and sus- like
Ah,
and subscribe
great.
button.
I don't have my bell, so
Bang.
last orders at the bar. You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here. See ya.
Yeah.